Okay, there we go.
All right, now they can hear us.
Yes.
Okay, that was scary.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay. So, hey everyone. So, this is the Elder Scrolls series relay race, and we'll be racing all 5 of the main series games of Elder Scrolls, starting from Arena, then heading to Daggerfall, then Morrowind, Oblivion, and then Skyrim. And so, for each of those games, we'll be running one category. So in
for
Arena,
each of
we'll be
those
running any percent.
games, we'll be
running
Daggerfall
one
will be
category,
running
any percent.
In Arena, we'll be running any
In
percent.
Morrowind, we'll be running
Daggerfall will
all
be
main
running
quests
any
glitch.
percent.
In
Morrowind,
Oblivion, we'll be
all main
running no
quests
out of
glitch.
bounds. And in
Oblivion,
Skyrim,
we'll
we'll be running
no out of bounds.
main quest. And in Skyrim, we'll be running.
there's echo?
Apparently,
What the
there's a lot of
fuck?
main
Echo?
quest.
How is there echo?
There's
echo?
apparently there's
In
a
my
lot
life
of
right now.
echo.
Sorry about that, guys. How is there echo? In my life
So-
right now. Sorry about that, guys.
So
Hopefully,
hopefully we can get that fixed.
Maybe it's Shizudo's stream. He maybe has our audio into.
Hopefully we can get that fixed.
If you could check that.
Okay.
Shizudo's. I think it might be Shizudo's fault. Let me try again.
Yeah, like definitely mute at least mute the streams, guys. Like
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Now it should be fine.
Everything sounds good?
I think it does. From what I see, it sounds perfect.
Okay. Should I go through all the games again? Okay. Yeah, so anyways, so we have 3 teams of 5 runners, or 4 runners for one team running. So for our first team, Team Skooma right here, we have SallyS running Arena, Orbrun running Daggerfall, Volvulus running Morrowind, Eliza running Oblivion, and Chronos, which is me, running Skyrim.
Yes.
For Team 5 Speedy boys, we have QSHV running Arena, Blackwayv running Daggerfall, Jelly running Morrowind, Sandy running Oblivion, and LasTYNS running Skyrim. And for Team Greybeards, we have Shizudo running both Arena and Daggerfall. We have Archariat running Morrowind. We have NoobSalmon running Oblivion, and we have BubblesDelFuego running Skyrim.
Yeah, talking about the teams, I think they're very, very, very balanced actually on time wise. I do think that my hopes are in Greybeards team, Shizudo and Bubbles. That's a really strong lineup.
It's obviously Team Skooma that's going to win. It's not like I'm on the team or anything.
Also, for the categories, you guys wanted to hear them again. It's going to be any percent for the first 2 games, all main quests for Morrowind. Oblivion is going to be no out of bounds, so we won't be just finishing the game in 3 minutes, probably like 10 it. And Skyrim is going to be any percent. So those are the categories for each of the games. It's the best category for each of them. All right. And I think it is time to basically start the marathon. Start it off.
QSHV seems to like be AFK for a second here, so hopefully he'll get back.
Amazing. Yeah. If you guys have not watched any Elder Scrolls speedrunning event, we're bad at organizing, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I suppose we can start off by talking about the arena itself.
Yes, we can. Arena, I believe it's the very first game made in 1886. No, 1686. 1986.
1886 was
I'm sorry.
ancient.
1986.
Actually, the first game before Pong, guys.
It was made really, really early. It's huge. You're gonna see that these first two games, they don't have the best like movement and stuff, but if you actually play the game, they're huge games. It's actually impressive how much Bethesda worked on these games, as they're just huge and they were made so long ago. So Arena being the first game, it is a very interesting route that we're gonna take to the game. The game is very punishing casually, so there are some little things that we're gonna skip. As I say, little really big things, we're gonna skip a lot of things, but we'll get to it in a bit when all of our runners are ready.
Yep, and hopefully that will be pretty soon.
Also, if anyone writes any good meme in the chat, like the best meme, I'll be watching the chat for the whole run, for the whole event. Whoever writes the best meme, I'll give him a free sub for RPG Limit Break. So I want some good memes, guys.
Better write the best meme that you can.
And actually, shout out to RPG Limit Break for letting us run.
Huge shout outs to RPG Limit Break for hosting this event.
Maybe Bubbles already won. Bubbles is the first 10 minutes of this stream. God damn it, guys. Just wait until we have to start doing commentary. It's gonna get even worse. For commentators, also, I should change commentators. Commentators for this game is gonna be me and Chronos. So I'm Wolf of Spain. You guys, if you don't know me, it's fine. And this is Chronos. He basically ran the whole event, so he's been working a lot in it. And I'm doing the restream, so we're doing.
Big shout outs to Wall of Spain for actually restreaming this event, because I've tried like so many people. Finally got one.
Yes, Alec. That's great. Alec, you have the commentators and the runners, so that's perfect. Thank you, Alec. Yeah, we have a lot of support from RPG Limit Break, which is fun, which is perfect. Still waiting for QSHV.
QSHV. Very interesting name.
I don't know what's up with him. He's definitely making us have to talk a lot more, which is not good. Because we're not. I mean, I guess we're the best people to introduce this. Talking about the speedrunning community as a whole, Skyrim speedrun community, we gather every year, do this event. I believe this is probably the best community, the most memes community for sure. That's simple enough, but probably the best community speedrunning community that I've known as I've gone through them. There is not a lot of difference between every single game. Every runner just kind of knows every runner for every single game. So it is a time where like the race is a joy for everyone. It's a lot of fun for all of us. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy it.
Okay, so it looks like we're all ready here. So
we're ready.
Are you ready, everyone?
I'm ready.
For the relay race to start. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, start. Go.
I started the timer, boys. Shizudo is having a rough time. Okay. So the first part that we're gonna see is we're gonna choose our class, our names, just pretty simple stuff about speedrunning. Really short names, faster class as possible. And then they're gonna do something very interesting to select the attributes for their character. They're gonna reset it until they get a high enough speed and intelligence. And with the points, they're just gonna add them to the one that's lowest. So then they can have the easiest time through the run, as we're gonna use mostly magic.
Yeah, and this starting dungeon is especially brutal. You can have 2 different spawns. Looks like Shizudo had the rat spawn, which is pretty rough because rats in this game, they give you less experience, so you level up more slowly killing them. And you are very easily like you can very easily lose your run to getting poisoned by a rat.
Yeah, as you can see, Shizudo is taking a completely different route. He's gonna have to go back now, because he had to kill a lot more rats. But he's already at the door, and SonicSalies is actually getting the advantage right now. Oh, well, actually, no, it's Shizudo. Shizudo with advantage. They're basically waiting out. So the way cutscenes work in this game, you are gonna need. Oh, Shizudo, no. Oh no, that's
no.
an L. He's gonna have to restart. That's one. Yeah, that's rats for you.
Yeah.
Oh well. So yeah, the way cutscenes work in this game, you have to wait 1 hour to activate the cutscene. So you're gonna have to wait 1 hour, which helps you recover health and magic. But the problem with that is that random enemies can spawn, or there can be enemies nearby, and that can be a big problem. As you saw with Shizudo, he completely died to a big enemy. And now, if we go to SonicSalies' stream, you can see that he is actually making the only 3 spells that we're gonna use through the whole run, and it's basically what we're gonna use for the whole run.
Yep.
It's gonna be levitate, run faster, right? 45 speed, and invisibility. Can you explain why?
Yeah, so you need these 3 spells to move through one specific dungeon, which is Stonekeep. And you'll probably be seeing a lot of Stonekeep in this run. And approximately 17, to say the least.
Yes, there will be a lot of Stonekeep. You'll get tired of Stonekeep, honestly. So we'll explain why later. But now we're gonna also explain this quest system. Basically, in this game with quests, you just have to talk to people to activate them, and then they activate the dungeon that you need. And in each dungeon, there's a scroll that you need to grab, and when you grab the scroll, you activate the next quest, basically. So we're gonna have to go to different places of the map and just do some movement to get those quests and activate the scrolls. And we can see SonicSalies already in the very first dungeon. This is a path that you're gonna see a lot because this scroll right here does not despawn. So yeah, Chronos, can you explain a little bit about
Yeah, so that scroll, apparently in the newest version of Arena, like in all the previous versions, they didn't have that bug. But in the newest version, they had that bug when you could just pick up that one scroll over and over again, and it keeps updating your quest. So basically, it progresses the game just by collecting that one scroll every time. The thing is, you cannot collect it more than 3 times in a row because it doesn't like update your quest. I'm not sure the specific reason why, but yeah, that's why you have to go through each of these castles every few stone keeps.
Exactly. So I believe every 2 Stonekeeps, the scroll won't respawn. So you have to activate the quest, and then the scroll will respawn. So we'll basically be going through every city and activate every quest. We just won't be doing every single dungeon thanks to this glitch. And as you can see, Shizudo is already really behind. This game is a lot of RNG. You're gonna see more RNG parts as we go, later on as we go. There's RNG in leveling up. There's RNG amount of time waiting.
Oh yeah, and right now Salies is doing or trying to do a glitch called sleepwalking. So if you wait a long amount of time and then you leave the dungeon which you're at, you can wait like during the day of like in a city where you're not supposed to wait. And it can speed up your run by skipping night cycles.
Yeah, exactly. So as the first RNG part of this game, if you go into a city that is at night, you won't be able to go inside any building. So you'll have to get out of the city, wait until it's light out, which means the music will change, and then you can go into it. The problem with that is that monsters can bother you, and later on we'll see things that are called what is it called? It's a trap, basically. Don't remember the name.
I don't know.
It's just the bad guy tries to trap you with some monsters.
Darn. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to be really careful with those. but it seems like SonicSalies didn't have one of those. We'll probably see one of those very, very soon. So yeah, SonicSalies back at it again. The problem with this game is that it looks very similar all the time because you're doing stone keep a lot, so you're not really gonna tell who is in the lead right now. But right now, SonicSalies is in the lead for. Is that in this game the way you run? The fastest way to run is to hold shift and press two directions, so you're gonna be running diagonally more often.
So strafe walking is fastest in this game. It's like most DOS games, strafe walking is the fastest.
Yes, and yeah, basically that's the whole theme of the game. It's getting through this quest, leveling up so it's a little bit faster. And at the end of the game, you really don't want that many level ups. Rather, you want to, because the more points you get when you level up, the more time you waste putting them into your character. But you also want a sustaining amount of intelligence, so you're gonna be able to use those spells as much as possible.
Also, another important point is you have to manage your magic or your mana a lot, because if you run out of mana in this run, it is very dangerous because you need all three in order to get through Stone Keep.
And right there, QSHV, he got one of the I guess it's a raid, one of the traps from the bad guy. He was not able to get the next quest from our beautiful princess lady. I don't know what she is. The goddess.
Rhea Silmain.
So he wasn't able to get it, and oh god, QSHV, I think is gonna have a rough time getting out of this one, but he probably will. But yeah. If you get the trap, you cannot activate. You have to wait again until you can activate the next cutscene for the next part of the story. Another fun part that we didn't realize as a community. So this game actually is being more alive than ever now. I believe SonicSalies and QSHV are new runners, right?
Salies and QSHV are pretty new runners.
Yeah, since Shizudo has had a world record for like years. So when I ran this game a while ago, we didn't know that to talk to people in this game, you don't actually have to run you have to run, like we thought we had to run all the way to them and then just talk to them, but rather we can just use our pointer and click on them, and that will activate the talking. So
yeah, it was actually found by QSHV that you could talk to people from such far distances. It's like as long as you can see them, you can talk to them, which is pretty funny.
And actually saved a lot of time.
Yeah, it cut down like probably a minute out of the route, I would say.
Yeah, this run has been going down a lot lately. But yeah, you're gonna see QSHV doing it now.
Yeah, in the past year, I believe, the run has went from 25-minute world record time to a very low 22, which is pretty insane. Especially for a game like this, which has already had a pretty optimized route. It's just better movement and better menuing and everything.
And
so
RNG.
It's pretty insane. Yes, and definitely RNG.
Yeah, Shizudo is not having a fun time with this game, let me tell you. He is having the worst RNG I've ever seen in a while.
Yeah.
There we go, it's daytime. So yeah, RNG in this game can easily be a killer for the run. But usually it's not that bad. It's not that bad of a game. And another fun part of this game is that, as we said, it's huge and every city is pretty big. You have to remember exactly where the entrance to every single door is. If you don't, you're going to lose quite a bit of time.
Yeah, most of this run is memorizing where to go and having really good movement. The movement tech in this game is super precise, because if you run into a wall, you're really stuck. You have to, if you get stuck under a monster, especially one of those wolves in the dungeon, you have to maneuver yourself out and it's really difficult because of how collision works in this game.
Yeah, specifically, as you said, the wolves. So I think about these wolves, and they take a little bit longer to spawn. So if your movement is perfect, and you open that door and go right in, you will get a wolf spawn on top of you, which most of the time will mean a reset.
By the way, while of Spain, make sure to check the audio, I believe.
Check the audio. Discord. Ah, damn. This always happens.
Yeah.
I will, sir.
Okay, looks like
Well,
everyone's in Stonekeep. QSHV.
SalesTYNS is in the lead. The audio is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, SalesTYNS is pretty far in the lead, I believe.
Yes,
like
SalesTYNS
around
really
one
good
Stonekeep at least. Yeah.
I say 2 Stonekeep easily because
Probably 2 Stonekeeps. Like the amount of time in this game is tracked by Stonekeeps, not seconds. It's pretty funny. I think SalesTYNS is approaching or just past the halfway mark because there's 8 dungeons that you have to go to, or 8 castles, I should say. And I believe he's on the 4th or 5th, one of them.
Yeah, he's actually very far ahead. I'm pretty sure he's got 2 Stonekeeps ahead of everybody else. Well, ahead of QSHV at least. And then poor Shizudo just cannot catch the break. Let's be honest. That's insane.
Having this many nighttime cycles is really, really bad luck.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I've run this game a lot, and I've not seen that bad of luck. He's still trying to get that daytime.
Yeah,
and he actually got it there. But
so
it can be really bad.
Like to do stuff, you have to have it be daytime in the cities. But the thing is, you can't wait in the city, so you have to go outside the city and then wait a couple hours until it is daytime. But the thing is, you have a chance of getting ambushed, and it's like a 50-50 kind of chance. So sometimes you can get like daytime instantly, but other times you might not even get daytime unless you wait like 5 or 6 times. So it's pretty rough.
Yeah, you actually, out of the 24 hours, it's completely random which hour you like land to the city. It's not actually like time based like all Elder Scrolls game. They just decided it was random for fast travel because they didn't want to work on it for that many cities. So there's no way for us to make a route that will always be day. The only way to do this is just pray.
Just have good luck.
Yeah. And I believe, SalesTYNS is actually, I think he's got...
Yeah, SalesTYNS has the world record right now.
Yes, he does. It's the low 22. And Shizudo, great runner for a long time. He's been in the world record lead for so long.
Not to mention QSHV. He's the runner that did the first arena all main quests run in speedrun.com. It's actually an amazing run because of how many things he had to go through, especially with how big of a game arena is. And no previous route.
Can you spell hot boxes in QSHV?
Oh, hot boxes, yeah. So does QSHV have a hot box? That doesn't look like a hot box.
That's not a hot box. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so
play hot boxes.
Oh yeah, SalesTYNS has a hot box. So normally when you get a hot box, it's when fog is in your screen and it's very bad. What happens is you move at half speed because of how much the game has to render the game, like the graphics. So you move at half the speed, and it's normally a run killer if you're trying for like world record. So basically he's moving half the speed and everyone else is... I guess they can catch up a little bit there.
Hot boxes, I believe it's 2 2 or 3 cities where you can get hot boxes. And as you can see, Shizudo just no, he didn't cut up, but no, I was just kidding. Shizudo is very far behind.
Yeah, he's probably a dungeon or like a city behind or something, which is like 2 stone keeps. I'm not sure. Maybe
Yeah,
a
I think
little
that'll be
bit
about
more.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, dying at the beginning can be awful. There's just so many random things that can happen in this game. This
Yeah.
game is so big that so many things can happen that we still don't understand. And they just happen. You just gotta go for it.
Yep. It's a very dangerous game. Like 1 death basically means the end of your run. So better be careful, especially with your movement. Don't want to get caught by getting stuck under a wolf and having to punch your way out of the wolf. Chops, lol.
So Dr. T-Chops is here?
No, like
Oh, God.
in his run, like I believe his Daggerfall run, like one of them, he had to punch his way out of a wolf because he got stuck under it.
Honestly, that's not that bad. I've seen way worse. Because when you punch a wolf, you actually lose your visibility spell, so all the other wolves just come and just swarm you.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate.
Yeah. Sorry about the game, guys. Supposedly every single runner should have their game sound in, but our lead runner right now, SallyX, does not have their game sound, so we will not use this stream. Sorry about that. But now it's QSHV sounds, even though he's not in the lead. I'll switch it when we change games. It is important to actually get a big lead in this game. So
SallyX got the sleepwalk glitch.
you got a sleepwalk?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's
Yeah, he got it working, and it worked perfectly. He's at the
It's also
second to
very
last
random.
castle.
yeah, he's second to last. The last one I remember correctly is Morrowind.
Yeah, Morrowind. So if you haven't played Arena, the entire map of Arena, which you can travel in, is the entire, like, I guess, country? I'm not sure. It's not country. It's like the entire continent of Tamriel. So you have everywhere from Skyrim, which is, I believe, the second place you travel, to Morrowind, to High Rock, to basically every place. It's a very big, like, map. Not as big as Daggerfall,
Yeah.
but yeah.
These games, I would say, they're huge compared to their counterparts later on. It's also because they don't require that much memory, as they're very simple and very random. So most things are just randomized rather than it just being all set.
But yeah,
it
and
is
another
insane. Yeah.
another good point is you can't actually do a no fast travel run of this game either, because if you're outside like the castle, it's entirely randomly generated map, so you can't really travel to like specific places unless you fast travel like that.
I mean, you could, but it'll take
But
forever.
yeah, it would take forever, and your game can crash if you're outside way too long.
Yes. And yeah, as we see, SallyX is honestly, he's been through so much. I believe he got a really good spell for his 45 speed, and that depends on how much gold you pick up in the beginning. So I'm pretty sure he got a lot of gold. I saw it, so he was able to run a lot faster than other people. As you can see, Shizudo probably is not running as faster as other people because he got a really unlucky again. Shizudo not having the best luck today. He got a really unlucky amount of gold to start with, which means he wasn't able to put that many points into the 45 speed spell, which basically controls your movement throughout the whole game. Which kind of blows for him. Shizudo is also the runner for Daggerfall for his team.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to go from this really unlucky run directly to Daggerfall, which he's also really good at. So hopefully he's able to get some better luck in that game, which is also heavily luck-based. And SonicSalies is on the last quest. He has 2 more skulls to grab, and it'll be the end of the very first game. you can honestly get really unlucky in this game. It's actually pretty insane. You can get hot boxes, as we talked. You can get low amounts of money. You can get traps. You can die in the first dungeon. It's insane how dangerous the first dungeon is. It's pretty simple, but the RNG in this game can just kill everything. As Shizudo is the longest time runner here, and you saw he died in the first dungeon to a random enemy, which was really, really interesting how somebody who's been playing for that long still dies can easily still die to the first dungeon. And soon enough, we'll be changing SonicSalies to Orbrun, which is the next runner for their team. And we'll be heading out with the Daggerfall runner side. And the way this marathon works...
Salies is actually the Daggerfall commentator, so that works out pretty well.
Yeah, I guess he have to change channels. He has one more scroll to grab. But yeah, and the way this marathon is gonna work, we're gonna directly go to each team. So like each team is just running it separately. We're not gonna stop after every game is done and then add them up. It's gonna go really smoothly, and there will be different games at different times. But the commentators for the next the commentators for the next game will pop in as the first runner finishes the game. So we'll be commentating the league rather than be commentating the whole game as itself.
Yep, and QSHV is in Morrowind, the last place. So he's in second place right now.
And he's done.
Time for Salies. That was actually a sub 23-minute time. That's a really insane time.
Yeah,
especially.
Really lucky time, and it's time for us to move out, and the next commentator should move in. There's nothing I can do with that one. Yeah. Time for Daggerfall. Orbrun will be popping in, and then all the runners will be coming in. Orbrun should be starting soon.
Yep. I'm also the Daggerfall commentator, so just going to wait for Salies. Oh, never mind, I have to invite him.
Available now from PlayStation Store.
Okay, 1 second.
And also we can see QSHV is getting close to finishing the game too. They're all getting really close now. Shizudo still has to do one more
actually
set of dungeons.
I believe.
Hello, boys.
Hey, Salies. Nice run.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
Orbrun,
really good job.
Orbrun should be starting. Just go.
Yeah, Orbrun should go. Tell Orbrun to go. You guys are losing time for your own team. All right, we'll be heading out. You guys,
Okay.
good luck everyone with the runs. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So apparently Orbrun didn't get the word that he had to start. But
Okay. It's starting now.
So now this is Daggerfall. So as you can see, Orbrun's making a class. This is actually a pretty important part. You have to create a class which is able to level easily and have the right stats so you can be fast, basically, including having the right speed and right jumping ability, which is pretty important in this run. And this character creation takes quite a while. It's, I believe, 1 minute at least. And there we go.
It's finished.
Yep, so QSHV finished.
So here's the thing that he'll be doing along the run. he traveled to a city and then traveled to. He didn't really want to go to that city, but he traveled there to make sure he was in the right place, the right entrance for the city that he wanted to be. You'll see that several times in the run. So Daggerfall tricks. So this that he's doing right now, Orbrun, is called buffer jumping. So basically, I think it's Control Shift and then space, right? That you hold. Chronos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. And then you do the super long jump. So now he's making his spells. This spell, this first one, is for leveling up. You'll see him doing that later. Second one is teleport. I think I should explain that.
So all of these spells are pretty important in the run. You use them like everywhere. It's like used for getting to places really quickly and killing all the enemies, especially this damage health spell which Orbrun's creating. It's very important.
Yeah, the first one, the leveling one, actually has an open ability that can also be used in case a door is closed and when I get in a house or something. That can happen in a specific mission. So that has a double utility. So now he's farming XP.
Yep. Yeah, so right now Orbrun is leveling, and what you need to do is get to, I believe, level 8 or level 7, and then you level up to level 8.
Yeah,
in
you
a
have
little
to
bit.
be a level 7 and a little bit, just like Bethesda's numbers, you know.
Yeah.
But it's level 7 and a little bit, so it's.
Yep, and the leveling glitch is pretty, like, interesting. You have to hold like 5 buttons at once to do it. It's,
It'll basically
it's
fly
pretty-
all the way.
pretty interesting. So he's traveling to just 2 places where it doesn't have a lot of lag in the game, because in this game, if you look, if the area around you has a lot of buildings and stuff, it loads a lot slower. But the places where he's traveling to is primarily places with very few buildings, if any.
Yeah, like one house or something.
So it makes leveling a lot faster. I believe Orbrun did do one misclick there and had to wait like an extra 5 seconds to level. And as you can see, it's a very intensive game in menuing.
So now he's traveling to the place you want to go, in fact. Doing a little more leveling, so he's
Yeah.
level 6 still.
Yeah, so he's going to go to Wayrest. Hopefully
Yeah.
can level up enough. It's
Yeah.
kind of rough if he's still level 6 here.
Mm-hmm. But the quest that he's doing now, I think it's the requirement's only level 6. So now he'll be talking to a girl called Morgaya, right? This is Morgaya's wedding. And she wants to marry, you know? She wants to have a husband, but since she's really edgy, she wants to marry a necromancer. So we got that arranged for her.
Yep. So
She's a really emo girl.
an important thing to note is you see Orbrun right there. He just teleported to the entrance. So in this game, there's a hotkey called your Alt F11 hotkey, and what it does is it teleports you to the start of, or to the entrance of the dungeon that you're in.
Yeah, you
The
actually
last
saw
place
him.
stand. So it's really useful to just. The reason why it was made is because many people get stuck out of bounds or fall out of bounds pretty easily. So they put that hotkey in to prevent players from doing that, or to save players from getting stuck out of bounds like that.
Yeah. He actually used that in the first dungeon. If you do that in the first dungeon of the game, you get all the way to the exit. So he actually used that in the beginning. And he arranged the marriage.
Yep. So now we are at the fun part. of the game. Is
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
ready for the werewolf quest?
Oh, wait, it's the werewolf quest. Pay attention to
Yes,
that. Where is the
werewolf.
wolf? Yeah.
So the
So-
werewolf quest is the most RNG quest in the game, and it could range from being the first thing you see to being like gone from the dungeon and basically you're soft locked.
Yeah, you have to find a werewolf in the dungeon. The dungeon that you go to is kind of random. There's like a huge array of dungeons that you can go to, and it picks a random one. And it's like the werewolf can be anywhere. Like we have some queues, some places that he can't be, and like underwater or some specific places. But in general, he can be anywhere. So how we filter that is that we look for we discard the places that he can be, and we look for audio cues. So we listen to him. But
Yeah.
you can also have extremely bad luck, and
So it
end up
looks like right here, Orbrun has a castle, and normally castles are huge. So he might have. Oh, he got a fairly small dungeon. Oh, is that a werewolf?
Wait,
Is
there
that
a wolf?
the first? Oh no, he got a werewolf dungeon.
No.
guys. So what happens is
Oh.
you can get random werewolves in this game, and they're not the quest werewolves. So the game basically trolls you to thinking that the werewolf you just killed is the one that you need to kill for the quest.
Wasn't there that a wereboar?
Yes,
Those
you
can be
You
wereboars
can also
too.
get wereboars, and you can get enemies that sound like werewolves. So
Exactly.
yeah, right now Orbrun doesn't have good luck because of having a werewolf dungeon, but he does have a pretty small dungeon to work with. So hopefully
Also has
he'll
a
be
save
able
if
to
things
find.
were-
Yeah,
I saw one werewolf.
we're giving 5 minutes for the runners. If they don't find the werewolf, then after 5 minutes, we'll let them use the safety save.
Ooh, okay.
I
So
guess Orbrun
there-
wanted a new. Okay.
Okay,
New save.
He wants
A new
he
load.
loaded there.
Very
And
interesting. And I think Shizudo has caught up and is looking for the werewolf now. And I think Blackwayv is too. Oh,
Yep.
wow, Shizudo got the best luck. He got instant werewolf. He's
Whoa.
way in the lead now.
yeah, so
Yeah,
Blackwayv
such
and
good
Orbrun.
luck. It was the first werewolf, the first room he saw. That was really good luck.
Whoa, Blackwayv's a really bad one. Has caves and stuff. Anyway, now Shizu is going to do some letter delivering, right? For some people. He's also picking up a letter from a zombie. I believe that's that. Yeah, so now he's looking for a guy. He can be anywhere. Pretty sure that's the spy quest, right?
Yeah,
He can be
this
anywhere.
courier quest is also pretty annoying.
Pretty sure that's the
So
spy
what
quest,
happens
right?
is, not only do you have to search for that first courier right there, but the time they give you for that quest is they actually lie to you. So
Yeah, sometimes.
it's only in your journal when it's the correct amount of time you have to
Yeah,
be there.
sometimes.
It's only
And Orbrun's still looking for the werewolf. And Blackwayv is also, yeah.
yeah.
And Orbrun
This is just werewolf RNG.
And Blackwayv is also, yeah.
This is what werewolf RNG can do to you.
Yeah. We probably had
What
resets
werewolf
already
RNG
if
can
this
do to you.
wasn't a marathon. We probably had resets already. So now he's in the city. Shizu. Looking for the guy. In the city. Shizu. Where it is.
Looking
There
for
we
the
go.
guy.
It can be a girl as well. So we don't know. We'll find out.
There we go. It can be a girl as
So
well.
it's the spell. Maybe
So
he'll
we
have
don't
to
know.
use that spell. Yeah.
We'll find out.
So
Yep.
yeah, he's right
Maybe
there.
He'll have to use that
So
spell.
he teleports back.
Yep.
And
Yeah, he's
now
right
it's the Lich quest. So he'll be
Teleports
looking
back.
for a Lich
Now
soul.
it's the Lich quest.
First he will
So
of
he'll
course
be
turn
looking
the
for
quest. A Lich soul. First he will of course turn the quest. I think Blackwayv.
Yeah, Blackwayv got the
I
werewolf
think,
done.
He got the werewolf or
Yeah,
he skipped.
Blackwayv, I believe he got the werewolf done.
Okay. He got the werewolf or he skipped.
I believe he got the werewolf done.
I think Orbrun's still trying. Yeah.
I tried to message him that he can
Orbrun's
use the
still
safety
trying,
save
yeah.
because he's been stuck here for quite a long time now. That he
Mhm.
can use the safety save because he's been stuck here for quite a long time now.
Mhm.
Yep. So Shizudo is right now in Sentinel. He's going to kill the Lich King, I believe.
Yep.
And it's a pretty
got his
important
soul.
part of the story. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
He wants the soul of a lich. I believe it's to deliver to the necromancer. Oh, and by the way, that necromancer that married the girl, the very first quest, is actually Marco. He is the main antagonist for the Elder Scrolls Online and for Oblivion's Mages Guild quest. So there you go. He's been there all the way along. It's called the King of Worms here, though. Oh, I think Orbrun got it. No, it didn't.
Yeah. So Orbrun is having very bad luck with this werewolf. Yeah, he hasn't used the safety save yet.
That's well,
Oh, I think that's that's a werewolf.
No, it's a werewolf.
Oh no.
Oh, God. Okay, so where's Shizu? Yep. Now Shizu is going to try and find a tower to find a girl inside it. So he headed to a very specific spot in the city, and he positioned his camera in a very specific way and made that buffer jump that we talked earlier. So now he's just flying all the way through the map in a really, really fast pace, and he'll run through that tower eventually.
Yep, it's a pretty long wait for this skip through any tower.
Yeah, I think. Damn, I think Orbrun is not in Discord or something.
Yeah, Orbrun's just trying for the werewolf here. It's just really bad RNG for him.
Yeah, should have loaded the safety save by now. Already. Anyway, Shizu's still flying, and Blackwayv's killing the Lich. Yeah, Blackwayv's delivering the Lich soul. Oh, let me see. Let me see where.
See the werewolf.
Please.
Please. No.
My God.
Orbrun's at the worst luck.
Yeah, sometimes it just. Oh, he's underwater. Oh my God. Anyway, Shizu's still flying. That can go wrong, by the way. What Shizu's doing right now, that can go pretty wrong. Hope he's doing right. God. Let me see if this look at history.
There's Shizudo. He's at Durrani Tower now. He finally got there. The time expectation to end Daggerfall is around an hour-ish.
Yeah, but it can be earlier than that.
Yeah, it's probably earlier.
Yeah. Probably half an hour. Shizu probably finish in half an hour. So there you go. This is the girl that he wanted to find, and she wants a horn, basically. So he'll get the horn from her because to know she really needs it. So now he's going to this dungeon, which is a very important dungeon in the game. Will he meet Nufaga already? Or no? No, I don't think so. We've only seen Nufaga. Yep. Now he's going to get the horn. Pretty easy find. And actually, there if you paid attention, you can see a lady, old granny lady. She was actually the one that cursed Medora, which is this woman, to being the tower. So that's why the horn is with her, with the old lady. So now he's going to Ursinium, do some favor to the Archking. That's why orcs are not available in this game in Arena, and they're available from this point on. They conquered space in this game, basically, this game's story. Almost fell off. If you go to this dungeon's walls, you can actually crash the game if you go wrong there.
So it's a lot of just traveling around here and grabbing some items randomly.
Oh, by the way, that letter, that piece of paper that he picked up, was like the main quest of the game. The Emperor told him to pick up the letter. You're an Imperial agent. I wish I could send a donation or something to Orbrun
Yeah.
to just go.
Yeah, it just sucks seeing Orbrun not get past werewolf. It's so unlucky, and
Yeah, but
I
that's
did
normal.
message him that he could do the safety save like 10 minutes ago or something.
Yeah, me too.
So it's really, really irritating. Oh my gosh.
I won't even look. Okay, so now is this a Festival of Death already, right? Or not?
What?
What is Shizudo doing? We gotta do this.
He's at a pretty part. I think he's at Mummy. Is he at Mummy?
Oh yeah, you had to kill a mummy in a random spot as well. Same, like pretty similar to the werewolf, but definitely not as hard. Oh, so there go a werewolf. And Jesus,
Yeah.
just
So-
wish.
Oh, an important thing to note is what Shizudo is doing right now is called the Dirac drop. It was found by Dirac, or you could also call it like kung fuing up the wall. It's pretty
Yeah.
So what happens is when you're doing that trick, you're able to clip out of bounds because for some reason your fall speed makes it so that you fall outside of the door, outside, like out of bounds and stuff. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, the game just doesn't understand or something. So now she's going back to Daggerfall to turn in the quest, to believe. Oh my god, I'm trying not to
message him so much about it.
But he's offline, he won't see it. He said he had this burn on his phone.
That's why. It's what
doesn't.
irritates me. I said make some safety saves so that you can just find.
He found a giant, he found everything.
Like at this rate, QSHV should really, or I mean not QSHV, but Orbrun should really use the safety save. Like even after like Courier or something, he's really far behind.
I was so ready to use a save on Arena, but I didn't have to. Had some bad luck though. So, okay. So now, Shizu is going to find. So basically, the main plot of the game is that you have to find the letter that the Emperor sent to the Queen of Daggerfall, and the King of Daggerfall died. He was assassinated, and you have to like unfold the truth as well because his ghost's been spooking out all of Daggerfall. That's not a cool thing. So now she's dealing with this. He talked to Medora, which I believe was like the king's love interest or something, and she prepared dust of restful death. That's why he killed the mummy, and now he's going to deliver the dust to the king. Believe it's sad. We also call the king the spooky ghost too, because the first spooky ghost is Rhea Sealman from Arena. QSHV is really
really trying to get Orbrun to use the safety save. I mean, it doesn't look like Orbrun has a safety save, actually.
Oh my god.
That's the reason why.
Oh, you
I think
can
all
jump
his saves
to the
look
end,
like pretty like memes.
By the way, I had a meme save. Okay, so now Shizudo is on the king's tomb. He's looking for his coffin. Spooky stuff. There he goes. Hopefully you can see the spooky ghost. There's like 3 cutscenes or something. Yo, you gotta see his coffin. Oh my god, Orbrun. You can jump to the end, man.
Yep. So now Shizudo is going to believe Tunkart, yeah. Like all of these places are pretty.
Oh,
it's super hard to remember. Because
yeah, they're really similar.
Like
I think this
if
is
you see the
Woodburn Hall.
size of Daggerfall, it's actually a really huge map of like nothing. It's so big.
Yeah, I believe this is Woodburn Hall that he's going to. Yep. This is Woodburn Hall. So basically, he's avenging the king who was killed by this guy.
Then Shizudo's trying to kill the knight who's at the other side of the room.
Well, he did it. He did it. Actually.
Did he do it? I'm not sure. It looked kind of jank.
No, he
really weird.
He did it. Yeah, there was like you.
Yeah.
Oh, Ian, and he's actually using the best class in the game, the LOL.
Yeah.
That's totally into the game, guys. Totally.
Totally.
Can find that. Yeah. So
Blackwayv
basically,
isn't too far behind either.
yep.
He's at West Castle right now.
Yeah, he's
so
going to find the
he's
tomb.
doing pretty well.
So basically, the king was killed by that guy that Shizu just killed, and yeah, I said guy, and I know it was a girl, but
Yeah.
he was.
They all have the same player model.
Yeah.
Or character models.
So basically,
It's pretty fun.
basically, the king was killed by Lord Woodburn,
Oh,
but the game just
same.
spawns a random knight.
can you explain the law joke? I actually don't know it either.
Lord joke.
The law.
Oh, the
like,
law.
the character-
Oh, it's I think it's a joke between Shizudo and Dr. T Shops, and it's what's this guy name?
Oh, Rip
man.
Blackwavy.
Whoa, what?
He
What
got
did he
killed
do?
by a random
Okay. Oh, I forgot the name of the guy in English. Anyway, it's a hero, and I don't know why it's a meme between Shizudo and Dr. T Shops, but T Shops also does this meme several times. He actually uses it on his speedrun.com or something. So that's a joke. I don't think it's between Shizudo and Dr. T Shops. I believe it's between Pori and Dr. T Shops.
Yeah.
Anyways, something related to Dr. T Shops, which you may or may not know for his various runs in GDQ and other events. One of the funniest runners. So there you go. Oh, okay, we missed Shizudo stealing a baby. God, did you see that? He stole a baby. What a monster. God. How could he do that?
And Shizudo's heading to the final part of the game.
Final part of the game, yeah.
So, who's after Shizudo? I believe, let me see. Let me make sure.
What do we do with Orbrun? Just tell who's running? Sorry, but who's running Morrowind for us?
Yeah, I'll tell Volvi after like a few minutes.
Oh, okay, Volvi.
Blackwayv finish.
Yeah, just start, man. Okay, so this is the final dungeon of the game. And and about the baby, it was not actually a baby, it was a totem.
Yeah, so Archariat is next, so be prepared for once Shizudo says go.
So there he goes, almost there, I believe. This lava stuff is right at the end. Yep. Shizudo's almost finished the game. What? How long did
Shizudo
it take?
actually did it really fast.
Yeah, what time was that?
That was like a 26 or 27. That's
Wow.
really fast. And there we
It's
go.
truly fast.
Shizudo
There we
finished
go.
Daggerfall.
Yo.
So I'll be heading out then, and then switching out with the Morrowind commentators.
Yep.
So
Me too.
let me get them here first.
And Orbrun just died or something and just living with it. So okay. Should we leave now?
Yep. Okay. Yep. So
Okay.
we have the Morrowind commentators on right now.
Hello.
So, yep. Good luck.
Take care of you now. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'm LK47, and I'm going to spend a minute editing some Moobot commands. If you want to take it away for the first bit, Daredevil, go ahead.
All right, as LK47 said, I am Musical Daredevil, and the two of us will be taking you on a whirlwind tour of Vardenfell. This is very much a fast-paced run like all the other ones. There are a lot of things going on, and we don't necessarily do them in order. Right now, Archariat is going through the character creation process, as you do at the beginning of Elder Scrolls game. It looks like Volvi has started character creation as well. Meanwhile, the 5 Speedy Boys are still very much in Daggerfall at the moment. So a lot of this is geared, of course, towards the rest of the game, but one thing you very much have to keep in mind is that there is a jump you perform about, I don't know, maybe 2-3 minutes into this, and you really have to make sure that you're able to make this. The reason why I have to make that jump is that jump pretty much takes you to the end of the game, and there are 2 items you collect there, Sunder and Keening. In an any % run, you would then basically just go straight to the end of the game, destroy the Heart of Lorkhan, and that would be it. Here, we basically do all of the main quests, which is why this is called All Main Quests. This right here is Fargoth. You give him a ring, and then there's a merchant nearby that basically just gives you lower prices, which is nice because you don't have a whole lot of stuff. And while Archariat is figuring out his situation there, Volvi has now left the boat and will be heading through the same character creation process. And it seems that Jelly with the 5 Speedy Boys has left the boat as well. So we have Team Skooma and 5 Speedy Boys neck and neck. So it looks like Archariat may have actually crashed. Or something else may have gone wrong. I'm not 100% sure if it's crashed.
Crashes happen in this game, especially on version 1.0, and that's one of the things that we're going to be discussing. Archariat runs on version 1.0, but recently Volvulus has done a lot of stuff on the Game of the Year edition, which is mostly more stable.
Mostly? About as stable as they get when you're talking about Bethesda games?
Pretty much.
Maybe not. I'm not quite sure. They all just kind of act interesting. But yeah, Volvi does indeed run the Game of the Year edition, so some of the strats you're going to see from Volvi are slightly different, mostly minor. Meanwhile, Archariat and Jelly are going to be using the 1.0 strats. And now Archariat has made it to the second city of the game, that is Balmora, where we have the first of 2 fairly involved potion buying sequences. And then once those are complete, Archariat is ready to jump pretty much to the end of the game.
And you might wonder, wait a minute, he's going right to the end of the game. Isn't this all main quests? Well, yes. Particularly in the version of the game that he's playing, 1.0, there is a glitch which allows you, if you switch items very, very quickly, sometimes their effects don't get removed. And in here is Keening, which is a very powerful endgame weapon, which is also supposed to kill you when you equip it, but by not having it equipped long enough for the game to kill you, and by constantly swapping his weapons using the scroll wheel, he's getting a ton of speed and also luck, and it's going to be both very hard for him to maneuver and very hard for him to kind of die at this point, because enemies will have trouble hitting him. And right there, he just used an equipment glitch to switch to a lockpick and kill that Dagoth there by just pretty much glitching out the game.
Killing with a lockpick. Yeah. Basically, if you attack with a weapon and then you switch to a lockpick, it basically counts as like infinite attack, and so it can kill anything with one hit just by doing that. So now we've sort of skipped forward a little bit. We veered off from the end of the game, and we are currently collecting a quest item in here. This quest item is not going to become relevant for a little while, but we just so happen to be fairly close to it, so we just get it now. And as Volvi has moved on to the temple, these are some of the different strats we've been talking about from Game of the Year edition. And Jelly has indeed made it to outside of Veminal. So what Archariat is doing is he is buying a very set number of potions, 7 potions of Mark, which allow you to essentially set a teleport spot, and 22 potions of Recall, which of course send you there. What he is also doing in the meantime is he is essentially buying those potions for 1 or 0 gold. LK47 mentioned that when you switch those 2 endgame weapons back and forth quickly, you get a ton of luck, and that allows you to do this. At the same time, you are also essentially gaining levels by doing all of that, and the game does require you to get to level 3 before you're able to advance past a certain point to the main quest. So we just do that now while we're buying all of the items, and we really don't have to go very far out of our way to level up in order to get past that gate. So now we have both Volvi and Jelly in the midst of the potion buying sequence. Or sorry, Jelly and Archariat. And Archariat has finished with the potions. Volvi making his way through the temple. And now Archariat is going to head back to SandyX to grab another quest item, just like with the bow. This one is in a cave. One thing that LK47 sort of alluded to is that, of course, those weapons give you a ton of speed when you switch back and forth very fast, including as well as luck. And physics just kind of don't really exist in this game once your speed gets high enough. So you can go through walls fairly easily. It does get somewhat uncontrollable. As you can see, movement gets incredibly difficult. And now Archariat is level 3. And Jelly has completed the potion buying sequence. And Volvi has grabbed the quest item. So I'm just going to grab another quick quest item, Archariat is. And now he's essentially going to turn in the 2 quests for the items he just collected. The puzzle box from the Dwemer Ruin, as well as the skull that he picked up near SandyX. And Volvi is making his way into the Dwarven Ruin to pick up the puzzle box. And I believe Jelly should be on his way to grabbing that. So now Archariat is grabbing a few scrolls of a different kind of teleportation. The Mark and Recall potions allow you to essentially set a custom teleportation point. These 2 scrolls take you to some very specific places. You saw the Almsidi intervention scroll earlier, and then which takes you to the temple, like where Volvi was going, and then you have Divine Intervention, which takes you to forts. Now Archariat is buying what is probably one of the most useful spells in the game for escort quests, and there are several of those, and that is a spell we just like to call ASD, because it's very fast to type ASD. It speeds up the person you are escorting, gives them a little bit of luck, and essentially allows you to go much faster when you're on an escort quest.
Yeah, it takes advantage of the soul trap glitch, and that just allows you to stack effects on something. It's kind of a weird oversight. You can also do it on yourself, and by doing that, it's just, oh hey, NPC near me, you're fast now, and I love the fast Argonian walk.
Yes.
It's so great.
You are about to see it right now. It's amazing. It also sounds kind of interesting too. And wow, it looks like Volvi has really caught up to Archariat. He is also about to start the Argonian escort quest. And I think Jelly is about to make his way to Vivek right now to start that same quest. It looks like Archariat has fallen out of bounds a little bit. Yeah, navigating is pretty difficult. So this guy needs to kill him to advance this quest, and so yeah, he's done. This person down in the lower sewers won't give the information you need to complete this particular quest if you don't do that.
Yeah, like in many cases, there's more than one way to deal with him, but the fastest way is just to kill him, so that's what you do. It's also the same with a lot of the Hortator quests.
Yeah, you're going to see a whole lot of killing things is faster later on. So we have just a quick dialogue quest here out in Orbrun for Archariat. Volvi just seconds behind him, and he's elected to go out of bounds, which is fairly interesting. Meanwhile, Archariat seems to have taken the staircase. And Jelly should be finishing up the Vivek quest any moment now.
Where would you like to go?
So now Archariat is going to head to one of the Ashlander camps. There are 4 of these, and you sort of start off with one of them. They're kind of the friendliest out of the other 3. The other 3 don't like you very much. And he is also going to be turning in the quest from much earlier on, where he collected that quest item near the end of the game, and that was a bow. Now that he's done that, he can talk to the wise woman, who will essentially guide him to the next part of this quest, and that is to collect a ring from a cave that a god gives to you. Once you collect that ring, you essentially start sort of the next phase of the game. You have to go to all 4 Ashlander camps and have them name you Nerevarine. And unfortunately, it looks like Archariat got a bit lost, but he found the door. It is a pretty hard door to find. And you have these 3 gatehouses.
Are not the greatest.
Yeah. It does get incredibly difficult to learn navigation. Also dialogue. So we're going to hold off on that first Ashlander camp. We're actually going to go to a second Ashlander camp and start their particular Nerevarine quest. But we're not going to finish it because we have to go somewhere else to make that happen first. So we're just going to start it.
And yes, he shot that person from out of bounds. This is another common theme, shooting someone from out of bounds with a bow.
Because if you shoot someone from out of bounds with a bow, for some reason, the way AI works, no one else detects it, and so it's not reported as a crime or a murder. If you do somehow end up back inbounds, that becomes a problem, because sometimes you can't actually advance. Now, Archariat just went out of bounds inside of a Telvanni tower. That can get really difficult, because if you lose levitation, if you happen to be a beginner at running this game, you can actually soft lock, because the game will try and void you out, but it won't get you back to a basically a safe place, and so you'll just repeatedly void out. And we are on to the 3rd of the Nerevarine quests. This one we're actually going to complete. Volvi having a little bit of trouble getting into that Telvanni tower, and he actually decided to kill the person from inbounds. But that one doesn't matter, because you never really go back there anyway, so that's totally fine. So now Archariat has probably the worst escort quest in the entire run.
Yeah.
You have to basically take... Yeah. We were actually just having a discussion about this in the Morrowind Discord, about all of the frustrations involved in dealing with this rather long escort.
Hey, she's on the water.
She's on the water. That's the easy part. Usually she does that. But actually getting her to the place she's supposed to get to can get fairly difficult, because she really likes to have her navigation get screwed up. She just kind of wanders off somewhere else, and that's pretty much a soft lock. Not really, but that's an end of a run. You have all of these rocks in the way, so if you try and walk backwards the whole way, you're just going to run into one, and that can mess up navigation. And then the whole idea of this quest is to clear out the shrine, but you don't actually do that. You just kind of lead the woman to the end, and she likes to engage with all the enemies in here. You can see some of the messed up navigation right there. Yeah, it looks like my stream from Jelly froze. I will check back with him in a moment. And yeah, Volvi is still just behind Archariat. He has made it to Aldadroth, hopefully with the Wise Woman in tow. That would be good. So Archariat is heading on to one of probably the more condensed of the Great House Name Your Horse Tour quests. This is House Redoran.
Redoran.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot that. And basically you just lead this guy back to his father because he's been kidnapped. And then everyone else says, oh, nice job, you can be Hortator now. Except the leader of the house. He does not like you. He's the guy who kidnapped the son. And so you have to fight him to the death.
What now?
So Volvi is currently completing the Urshulaku Nerevarine quest. You basically just have to talk to them when you get far enough. And they will basically just say, oh, you're Nerevarine now. You're a cool guy. We know you. Jelly currently looks to be a little bit lost in the eastern region of the game. He's found the Zainab camp. This is a very difficult camp to find. There is another camp that's even harder than this one, but yeah, this one can get difficult.
Yeah, this one at least you can kind of know once you get to the water where to go from there. But the other one is just kind of in the middle of this big mountainous wasteland and even kind of in a depression there. So you can run circles around it and not necessarily find it.
Yeah, it can get very difficult to find. Like, even if you essentially know the setups for how to get from one point to another, it's still difficult to find. And that's kind of why you see all the runners having the world map up. It makes it a lot easier to find this camp. So now Archariat is moving on to a little bit of a side diversion, or at least it seems that way when you start this quest, to take out a 6th house base. Unfortunately, it seems like he's gotten a little bit lost on the way there. It is on a very tiny island to find. There it is. At the very end of this is Dagoth Gers, who gives you a very specific curse disease once you defeat him. And that disease is actually quest important, because according to this prophecy that you're following, you're not supposed to be harmed by this terrible, awful disease that pretty much disfigures and kills everybody. You are totally fine, as you can see.
I like that accidental clip out of bounds there.
Yeah.
As Cities. That's just how fast you are in this game. Walls are just suggestions.
Yeah, physics don't really exist, except gravity. But even then, you levitate enough, that doesn't exist. And it looks like Archariat found the Urban in some camp, no problem. That's the hard one.
And you do have to kill these guys to actually become part of that. So it's not just a matter of killing them as faster. It is actually something you normally have to do.
Yeah. We are actually doing this quest normally. How about that? And Jelly has moved on to the Wise Woman Ahumusa escort quest. Volvi moving on to the 6th house base. And Archariat should be finishing up the Urbanism Nerevarine in just a moment now. Basically, all you have to do once you kill everyone is convince this guy that he wants to be Ashcan so he can name you Nerevarine, and then that's it. So now Archariat is moving on to the cure for this nasty disease I talked about a few minutes ago that is supposed to horribly disfigure you, but still, he's totally fine. And so you have this Devaith Fear guy who's just kind of experimenting with this disease. He has sort of what he calls a corpusarium, where he's just kind of keeping a whole bunch of creatures that have been infected. And he sends you down there to fetch an item. This is a Bethesda game after all. And once you get that item, he gives you a potion just to try it out. Maybe the potion will work. Who knows? You're the Nerevarine. You're special.
And hey, you actually are the Nerevarine. You actually are special, because it works.
Yeah, who would have thought? So Volvi, almost sort of onto the second phase of the Airbeamsome Neravarine. Jelly, currently still going through all of the House Redoran quests. These do get fairly confusing if you're sort of a new runner, since you have to go to a lot of different places that are difficult to navigate. And it's part of the reason why all of those teleportation potions you bought are so handy, because you pretty much just have to kind of go to the person you're supposed to talk to, and then you can teleport back, and it's faster. It's nice.
And I don't know if we mentioned it, but one of the reasons that they're able to just instantly succeed on so many things that require a skill check is because they have several thousand luck. And luck
Yes.
affects everything, so they are good at everything. And even though they had corpus disease, if they needed to talk someone into liking them, they would always succeed.
Yeah, that is again tied to the potion buying portion, where you're able to buy potions for 0 gold. You just have so much luck that pretty much everything you do in this RPG of a game succeeds.
So yeah, lockpick success, even though he has no real lockpicking
Yeah.
skill. Now he is going to
Just did
be... Yeah, I think he's making a safety save there as well. You have to, in order to get the Zainab to proclaim you... Or not the Zainab, the... Is it?
It is the Zainab,
Ahamura?
yeah.
Okay, it was the Zainab or Ahamusa. I couldn't remember which.
Ahamus is just the escort. This is Zainab again.
Yeah, so the Zainab to proclaim you Neverine, and the chief, the Ashkan, wants a wife, a Telvanni wife.
High class.
Yeah, you can bring her there. You can either break her out, which is faster, or you can buy her. If you buy her, it's kind of funny. She's actually given training enough to fool him.
Yeah.
Here, the dialogue is different because she isn't able to pass for a Telvanni, but instead he's just like, she's pretty, whatever, I'll take her. You can be Neravarine.
Now, one of the funny things is that we didn't actually escort her here. For some strange reason, we don't quite know why, but for some strange reason, if you escort her to a certain portion of that tunnel that Volvi is currently in, she kind of thinks she's there, and also the Zainab Ashkan thinks she's there. So you only have to escort her through this hallway, which is a bit easier said than done, but still pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy for both her and you to get stuck on all those little kind of circular ripples around the edge of the passageway, but hey, it's a lot less distance than going all the way back to the camp, because there's no good travel option there other than going there directly.
So Archariat has moved on to the third of the Great Houses. You saw a little bit of House Telvanni earlier. We're going to be completing that fairly soon. This is House Hlaalu. House Hlaalu is fairly spread out compared to the other ones. Telvanni is actually, in terms of map distance, more spread out, but because you can teleport fairly easily from one place to another, it's actually not too bad. But Hlaalu does get pretty difficult in terms of remembering to go to this person's farm, and then that person's farm, and then this other person's farm. And there we have more of that great luck on lockpicking, just like with the slave cage. Volvi just about to take care of the leader of House Redoran. I should note you do have to kill the leaders of all three great houses because they don't really like this whole Neravarine business. Hortzor business. Well, both kind of. So that is something in common. He is going to have to go back and turn in that I killed the leader of House Redoran quest later. But for now, we're going to move on to House Hlaalu.
And meanwhile here, while he was in Vivek, Archariat went and took, basically rescued this person here. She's a priestess, basically, of the secret house. Not the secret house, the
Dissident priest.
Yeah, she's a dissident priest, meaning she's kind of for the Neravarine prophecy, believes in it, and so the earlier quest with her is that she kind of tells you some stuff about becoming the Neravarine, what it means, and then now she had to be rescued, so they rescue her and then take her over to this place with the dissident priests, and this is also obviously on the main quest line, so it has to be done.
You get a lot of information from that particular quest if you choose to read it, of course. A lot of the early Morrowind quest is just kind of information gathering. That's normally part of that, but we, of course, skipped around for speedrunners.
Yeah,
And
this
now-
is wildly out of order in terms of the intended sequence, in case you
Yeah.
hadn't figured that out already.
And so Volvi going in to turn in the last of House Redoran, so he's been named Hortator. And Archariat is currently finishing up the last of the Great Houses, House Hlalu. Having a little bit of trouble getting to Crassius Curio, who makes you give him a kiss, and then you're Hortator of House Hlalu. And Jelly now on to the Slave Escort quest for the Zainab. Well, we're also having a little bit of trouble getting to Crassius Curio. So now you have the final bit of the all main quests. You talk to the Archcanon of the Temple, then you talk to Vivek the God. It looks like we have... to turn in House Tilvani. That's a bit out of order, actually, for our main route, too. This does happen from time to time. You do forget to talk to someone. In this case, the only surviving member of House Tilvani. And if you don't do that, the dialogue option to finish the last part of the main quest doesn't pop up. That actually happened to me on a run a few days ago. It's fairly annoying. It looks like, unfortunately, Archariat has another part of the main quest he has not completed yet, so he's going to have to go and discover what exactly that is. In the meantime, we will head back to Volvi, who is now back on Dagoth so that does indeed put Team Skooma back in the lead. And Volvi gathering the 2 endgame items. Remember, he did not gather those earlier as part of the all main quest route. And now Jelly is going to turn in House Hlalu, I believe. No, House Tovani, sorry. This is very out of order again.
Opening the
see.
journal there, trying to figure out what he needed to do. All right, looks like he's got it now.
He got it. Nice. So now you can talk to the Archcanon. And now Volvi has made it to the very end here. He has his 2 endgame items. All he has to do is defeat the Heart of Dagoth teleport back to where he just was, and that is it for all main quests.
GG for Team Skooma.
Yeah. That was a nice coming from behind win.
And meanwhile, Archariat is flying his way over there now, and he will be done quite shortly as well.
Yeah,
He can go
another
right
minute or
into
two. So now we are going to hand it off to the next couple of commentators and runners for Oblivion. Hi, Bubbles. Would you like me to read a donation? Greetings from my bedroom.
Save the runs, kill the frames. Joke's on them, I already got one.
Oh, nice, I do too.
Welcome, Moon and Star.
Yeah. I mean, it's true.
This place where destiny is made.
It was.
Well, as a Samsung SSD owner, I concur.
I got a Kingston, but
So
I got
anyway,
a Samsung
Oblivion.
too. Never mind.
That I love the faces he can get in Oblivion. Anyway, I'll leave it to you guys.
I'm Fizric. Hi. Hitting them. And And for some reason, when you block and cast spells at the same time, it goes faster.
I'll let you live this time, cur. Close up left. Protect the Emperor.
Are you all right, sire? We're clear for now. Did Menno? She's dead. You don't want to do that again. You want to do that again. How could they be waiting for? Your destiny. Your destiny. Your destiny. Your destiny. This can only. They won't be the first to underestimate the blades. I'll take point. Let's move. You stay here, prisoner. Don't try to follow us.
Yeah, this goblin from you. Yeah, I can't hear you on the stream actually. I can hear me on the stream at least, so yeah. But well, this cavern area is really not that interesting. It's just run through it. Up here there will be some finicky aggroing with the Emperor and his blades. Or wait, it's not. Yeah, it's here. Hi, I'm here. Me, Fizrik.
The Emperor until help arrives. Help. Here they come again. Damn it, it's that prisoner again. Kill it. Don't push. Do your worst. No. She can help us. She must help us. They can't. The sign. Want to do that again? Who now will save us from the coming? You may as well make. Stick close and let us do our job, and you'll be all right. Hold up. I don't like this. Let me take a look.
It's really looks really awkward when he misses the first one.
Almost through to the sewers.
Yeah, 5 Speedy Boy seems to be having some problems, I think.
The gate is barred from the other side. What about that side passage back there? Worth a try. Let's go. Come with us. They're behind us. Wait here. Wait here with the Emperor. Guard him with your life. For the Emperor! Die, damn you! I can go no.
There we go.
Okay, bot is back. Hopefully things are working now. But as you see, we're going over to the Shady Sam merchant outside of the Imperial City, where that is the quickest way to get Skooma in real time. When you're actually seeing speedrun attempts, they'll be using a timer without loading screens involved. And so getting Skooma from a different merchant would be a little bit faster. But this one, Shady Sam, is nice and fast. Going to be duping a large pile on the ground of individual Skooma and then picking up around like 20 to 30. And then duplicating that with an even bigger stack, and then some sort of exponential multiplier, getting a few hundred Skooma, and then you can double stack it by having 4 from being used in your hotbar, and then using 4 in your inventory, so you have what we call an 8 stack of Skooma all at once. So yeah.
And she also saved before entering Wynnum Priory to set up a load warp, I think we call it.
Yes, load warping is something that we'll see coming up pretty shortly, but it involves carrying a save file through loading screens, so you don't have to backtrack to places that you've already been before. Eliza just making sure not to rush that bridge before jumping across. Now, we're watching the RPG Limit Break stream. All these streamers are running at low latency mode, and the RPG Limit Break stream itself is also on low latency mode. So we may be a few seconds behind, but we'll try to take that into account when we commentate. But as you can see here, coming up at the end of the first Oblivion gate, going to be doing skooma jumps like you just saw right here. Timing a forward jump or just jump in any direction, and slightly after ascending off the ground, dismounting off the ground, whatever. You want to bounce off something with your feet, and you'll get sort of like a collision ricochet, and you'll get a lot of height off of it, and you can make it so you can reach places like that door without having to get that key. Saves a good amount of time.
I'm Brother Jump.
There's going to be a few of those jumps, not too many though.
Welcome.
Yeah, they are a little annoying. And as you saw, the save file was being made right as upon entering the final room here. That way all the
And a nice
Oblivion gates can be finished quickly. And then, the skooma jump that was on the inside of that gate as well. And then you just got to clear out Kvatch, which is kind of like one of the bigger action moments in the run, besides the actual defense of the Oblivion, final Oblivion gate.
And also one of the most painful ones with all the scamps and stuff moving around all the time. Yeah.
And the final wizard or summoner Daedra guy at the end. He summons one scamp himself, so you got to make sure that you kill him and the scamp that he didn't summon. So
yeah, that went pretty well though.
Yep, that was pretty good. Liza, so far with a great run. Now, there's a few quests in Oblivion that you can do, similar to most Elder Scrolls games, to be honest, or just Bethesda games. You can do a lot of quests in not necessarily the intended order. And so right here, going to, well, I guess you can explain what Eliza is going to do right now.
She's going to be running to Miss Karkand, which, if you're familiar with the Oblivion main quest, is the place where you need to go to retrieve a Great Welkin Stone for Martin later in the main quest. but for some reason, or you can take it like at any point, and this is the fastest since you're already around crouch.
Yeah, it's not a huge difference in how much time it saves, but since when you open up your map at the end of fetch, you can just basically already click on the fastest fast travel point for approaching Miskarkand. And it's a pretty sick movement-based area. You want to be careful when you're going downstairs. If you just rush down steps, you can kill yourself really easily with the collision and a few skooma jumps on fireplaces. And as the stone at the end of this dungeon will be grabbed, you'll be seeing them quick save and then load the save file that was at Wayne Priory. And then as they go through the doorway at Wayne Priory, they will pause the game and then load the quick save that they made after getting the stone. That way, the character that just picked up the stone will be entering the building at Wayne Priory. Now, that's called a load warp, like we explained before. And it's just so you can eliminate all the backtracking required. Typically, you would have to press a button and kill a few guys and then leave that dungeon and then fast travel afterwards. But the saved minutes after found. And it's also going to be used in Skyrim.
Yeah, and you open that chest to get the quest update, so you don't have to go back and update later.
So you just got to clear out the Wayne Priory here. Make sure that Joffrey is on your side and Martin is all safe. Now, while passing some time, because NPCs are kind of slow, we are going to head on down to the waterfront, which is the closest way to get a Daedric item, because a part of the main quest, if you've played Oblivion before, is to get a Daedric item and to hand it into Martin. And so the quickest way to get an established Daedric item so quickly, because typically in Oblivion you need to be a certain level for most Daedric item quests. And we don't really level up in the run at all, because that requires sleeping and it's slow. So the Shrine of Clavicus Vial can be bugged out and completed early if you just bring it this Umbra right here. So quickly gonna kill Umbra, pick up the sword, load warp out, and then head on over to Clavicus Vial, talk to the dog's butt because that's faster, and then we'll have our Daedric item, and then the NPCs for the main quest will be right where they need to be. And looking like the other teams are not that far behind. Team Greybeards with NoobSalmon. Let's go Team Greybeards. I'll be having to cut out my run or my commentary towards the end of this because I'm running in Team Greybeards. Going to be doing Skyrim next, but so in case it goes down to one commentator at some point, that's the explanation.
Yeah, I'll be doing my best.
It's okay. Everything. I don't know. It'll probably be easy to explain at some point because a lot of stuff becomes routine after a while. So like Oblivion gates are sort of rinse and repeated once entered because, well, we'll come at that. We'll explain that in just a second when they do their second Oblivion gate.
Yeah.
But right now they got a few complicated things to do in the Imperial City that it's kind of hard to commentate in real time of everything that's happening.
It's really like intense. So you're supposed to talk to Boris, but to like get that guy to follow him and then kill him and get the book. But you can just kill him and take the book, like immediately.
And then there's a flurry of talking to certain people, trying to get information and update quest flags for ultimately meeting with the Mythic Dawn. And then eventually figuring out where their base is, etc., etc. Which is sort of the Mythic Dawn is sort of like the army in a sense of that are in the, I guess, the realm that's in Cyrodiil, which is the place where Oblivion is in. And so they're the reason why like Oblivion is being connected to Cyrodiil in this game. But we're not here for plot, we're just here for speed. A lot of tricks going on right now, a lot of manipulating of AI.
She also waited for a certain amount of, because we want a very specific like time at the end of this part of the quest.
Yes.
You want it to be around like midday after the meeting, I think.
Yeah, a lot of time manipulation here, using the waiting function, making sure that NPCs are in the correct location and that certain objects can be interacted with at certain times.
So normally here, the Boris would come up to talk to you and tell you to go through the sewers with him, but that is excruciatingly slow. So you can just run to the point where you want to be and wait for him to come to you.
Yeah, a lot of people in Elder Scrolls games sort of just walk up to you like couriers or assassins, etc., and they'll just chase you down no matter where you are, especially like forced main quest NPCs. So just going to get to the end of the dungeon and then wait for him to get to us here. And then he's going to say, hey, meet me in the sewer. And then you just go through the door and he's right there.
You're not
and then you basically just load warp out again after getting what you need from the Mythic Dawn person that you killed during the setup meeting.
Here you'll want to wait for a little bit of time, like 3 seconds or something, and then you get up, and the guy you're supposed to get the book from is going to be right there. So you can just kill him, grab the book, and load warp out.
Mm-hmm. And everybody is doing pretty okay right now. Everybody's on Skooma. Everybody is working hard in the Oblivion run right now. NoobSalmon not too far behind. Looks like he's just getting a nice start on the Mythic Dawn book quest as well. You can lose quite a bit of time in this run from very certain moments, but like a death when you don't have a quick save nearby, or messing up a load warp too much, or even a game crash. Game crashes are going to start happening the further that we get down this relay. And as you see, you try to retime your Skooma usage as it's running out, so you never have to have any moments where you're standing completely still unless you're in the menu. Some tight timing based on the visuals in the top right corner of the screen for when your active effects are wearing off.
Normally you're intended to like infiltrate the Mythic Dawn and pretend to be like one of them, but you can just kill the like guard and run in and take the book and run out, which is considerably faster.
What's the line they say here? You can't escape the...
You cannot escape the Master's vigilance.
You cannot escape the Master's vigilance. You cannot escape the... They just keep shouting that, and then you just clearly escape
like
the Master's vigilance.
Chorus, or choir. I don't...
Yeah, they're all working together. They're just like, if we all say it, he can't escape, but everything's fine. And then we just go back, load warping back up to Sky Temple. Or the... Yeah.
Have escaped the Master's vigilance.
Let's put a pog champ in the chat for escaping Master's vigilance. And so looks like NoobSalmon is about to finish up the Mythic Dawn matchup as well. Joffrey was not in the best location for talking to here. You'd like Martin and Joffrey to be near each other for all the times that you communicate to both of them every time you revisit the temple. But now we're out to kill some spies, and once again, using time manipulation, you can make sure that you go to the spy's hut at the same time that they're both in there.
Normally, this spy quest is supposed to be like more complicated, but if you know who they are, you can just kill them and take their stuff, and you're done. I honestly don't remember exactly what the original, like the quests, how the quest works in the.
Oh, no shame in that whatsoever. I certainly don't either. Once you even like see the easy way to do it, even casual players are like, "Oh, I'm doing that from now on," because some stuff in these games can be kind of monotonous.
Yeah.
So once again, load warping out. That's not a huge time save on that load warp, but it does save time. And especially since you're going all the way to the doorway of the temple instead of just a fast travel point. And I think
I will send. I've decided.
I think NoobSalmon is doing just fine. I think he had a pretty good books quest. He's catching up real fast.
Yeah, he's already at the shrine. So.
Eliza had like a semi-okay start with missing a few skooma jumps here and there, but
Thanks for.
And now comes the second Oblivion gate, which I hear was a really annoying part of the speedrun before we discovered you could do what she's going to do now.
Yeah. So there will be a load warp to the end of this Oblivion gate. Because every Oblivion gate uses the same final room, the same cell. So as long as you just keep entering and load warping the current progress character to the same cell of the end of the Oblivion gate, you can just finish it all the time. So that first Oblivion gate that Eliza was in at the beginning of her run can just be recycled and constantly refinished instead of having to bring all the dungeon crawling through. And so, as complicated as that sounds, all you have to worry about is that we do not have to have an escort mission with Bard anymore, or Bird, and so that's a big relief, not having to wait for him and kill every enemy. It makes the run so much more manageable and tolerable. So after that second Oblivion gate, we are on our way to Sancrator. Sancrator is because we need a armor piece for Martin to wear during the battle with the Great Gate and the final Oblivion gate push. So Sancrator is it's not that bad one to get. And so coming up at the just pathing through the woods on Skooma. Yeah. Where's Musical Daredevil when you need him for a donation? So you don't have to worry about killing the enemies on the outside here. We used to, because then you would have to leave Sancrator and then fast travel afterwards. But of course, we're just going to load warp at the end of it, which saves so much more time than just backtracking. It saves all this preparation of having to make it so you're okay to fast travel, because as you know, you can't fast travel when you're in the air, when you're taking damage, or when there's enemies nearby. So it's just going to be a real quick skooma-induced route. It's real fun movement tech here of just killing these skeletons, which are sort of being controlled by old spirits of Sancrator or something like that. But we just need to free their spirits from the skeletons. The spirits will fly to the main room and then unlock this invisible wall so you can get the armor piece.
Yeah. These corridors are like really tight, and it makes for some like impressive movement, I think. And there's a lot of like remembering where to go and all that stuff. Oh, that's
Yeah, there is some RNG involved with having certain enemies be in certain places. But it's not that big of a deal on these certain things. There's also a load warp being set at the center of Sancrator's door. So when you go at the end of these corridors to kill the skeleton, you can just load warp back to the center room and then go down another hallway instead of having to backtrack within the dungeon itself.
Did she load the same save to redo that?
I'm not
it's
sure.
because she accidentally jumped, or maybe it was just an accident. I don't know.
Yeah, I think everything's okay. Looks like NoobSalmon is on his way as well to Sancrator, catching up quite nicely, actually.
Yeah.
Really pulling through for the best team in the relay.
And Sandy's at Shrine now.
Oh my gosh. I just noticed NoobSalmon's character. Holy cow. Oblivion, one of the best create class systems
It's not
in
Oblivion if your character doesn't have a face like that.
Yeah. So Eliza's all done with Sancrator now. And just has to let the Empress of which town was it? Was it Anvil or Bravel? Bruma was the B town. I always get Bruma and Bravel mixed up. Anyway, so gotta let the lady know in Bruma that we're gonna do some war, and she's like, okay, I'll do some war. And then we go do some war, and then Martin meets you there, and then it's basically a big auto scroller as we sort of wait for the final Great Gate to open up, and we just have to sort of tower defense on Martin so he doesn't die during that. That's a big time loss if Martin dies and you don't have a quick save during the protection of Martin. So as we're just waiting, I'm manipulating some NPCs here. Running low on Skooma, but it's perfectly counted out. It's never like, you can sort of spam when you're duplicating the Skooma bottles. So it's never like, of course, a perfect representation. But you just want to make it so each bottle weighs half a pound. Or half a unit of measurement of whatever they use in the game. And so if you have like 500 bottles, you're going to have like 250 extra weight in your inventory. So you want to make it as accurate as possible on your Skooma count when you're duplicating. So you use an extremely efficient amount of Skooma so that at the end of the run or towards the final minutes of the run, you can have even more movement speed and move in between, because you can't move in this game when you're over encumbered. Oh, they weigh feathers. Oh yeah, the weight measurement is in feather icons. And so, yeah, you want to make sure that you've got, like 80 or less Skooma or whatever the amount is needing to be in your inventory before you're under the over encumbered limit. As you see, Eliza's pushing Martin away just to keep him protected. And then after this, there's just one Oblivion gate that's going to be quickly finished. Just like all the others. But yeah, the right gate, the left gate, the back gate, and then the Great Gate in the center opens up. It's a pretty simple spot. It's sort of like if you're doing the run yourself. It's kind of nice to have like a little breather at the end. Because after the Great Gate, there is a little moment where you go to Paradise, and then you basically just have to set up for the end of the game. So Skyrim is not too far from now if you've been waiting for that to happen. It's a good time for a drink or something, bathroom break. Looks like NoobSalmon is about to start the Great Gate situation. Just has to talk to the Countess real quick. Sometimes this Great Gate is just the most annoying thing. Like,
It's like the most painful thing in my opinion.
it can be really annoying. If it goes well, you're like, okay, good thing that went well. But sometimes Martin just goes headfirst into battle against the worst guys to defeat. And you're like, why would you do? Like, right now, Martin's fighting and barely anybody's defending him. The best way to defend Martin, in some cases, some people like to actually aggro Martin and then run away from the fight so he chases you. And then all these guys can deal with the enemies. It's such a weird strat, but it's actually pretty marathon safe. But I doubt anybody will do it. I've only seen it done a few times, but it is pretty funny to see. Oh, look at NoobSalmon's character.
Now Elise is going to be closing the Great Gate through the quick load warp method.
Yep. So you also have to... It's weird because you're also unlocking the door that you're load warping through. So you have to have the lockpick screen pop up when you're not even in front of a door. So it's really weird. I'm sure if you would like a more in-depth explanation on all the tricks that you're being seen here today throughout the relay, you can head on over to speedrun.com and go to the Elder Scrolls game page and just click on guides and resources for any of them, or even check out the top runners yourselves, and definitely check out the runners that have been performing today. If you always do exclamation point, I believe runner or runners in the chat. I think runners would work. And you'll be able to get links to their channels, so you can give them a follow if you're enjoying what you're seeing. Eliza is a newer runner. Sandy's been grinding every now and then for some better attempts, and NoobSalmon is just happy to be here. So as you see, Eliza has now entered Paradise, going after Cameron. Oh, it looks like the guy did not spawn on the outside. So I believe you'll have to double menu because of that. Which means you'll have to go back into your menu to use more Skooma. But you're hoping that you have to do that the same time that you equip these gauntlets that let you open these fire doors. The bands of the Chosen.
Because you need to equip them to actually enter the cave, because that's how the quest works. You want to kill this guy because otherwise he talks to you.
Yeah. And if he talks to you at the wrong moment, I think you'll have to recycle this area and keep doing it until it's done right. So there's a slight amount of manipulation, but it's basically just kill somebody. And I believe there's a strat for when you leave this cave, you want to... you run the risk of having some of these enemies still aggroed onto you, meaning that you can't fast travel even when you're back in Cyrodiil. So you'll have the strat of walking a little bit away from Mankart Cameron's area, and that will lead up to you being warped back. It's sort of just if you've ever done it yourself. It's not a bug or anything, but like right there you'll see it. Yeah. Well, it probably wasn't right when I said right there because of the stream delay, but yeah. And then the stairs make a really easy Skooma jump. Basically just preparing right now to go escort Martin to the final part of the game.
Also, killing Mandarin can be somewhat annoying because he has a 50% chance to absorb your spells or something like that. So you might need to shoot him a few times before he actually takes damage and dies. But that went fine.
Eliza with a pretty solid run. We'll be passing over the commentary over to Enfro and Wall of Spain, your restreamer of the event. Because Skyrim will be happening in just a moment. But we will stick with you until the end of this right here. So, very rarely in this run is quick saving and quick loading actually abused in succession to skip dialogue. Oh, it looks like a load warp was just used.
I have never seen that, actually. But yeah, that's probably a lot faster. I've never seen that.
I have never seen that either, but that's so smart.
Yeah. Wow.
It only saves like like probably 2.5 seconds or something.
Yeah,
It just saves
still.
movement from getting over to the store. But you also have to have a menu to put a save file there in the first place. But I guess you already have that save file from no. Anyway, speedrunning. And so yeah, it just essentially cuts down the amount of travel time that it would take to get to this final shrine area. And then you just wait for Martin. And then the run will switch over right when you're done talking to Martin. When he's by the wall after you escort him over to the wall here. And so I will switch over the commentary over to the Skyrim runners or the Skyrim commentators right now. And thank you for having us.
Yeah. Take it away.
Enjoy the relay.
This is actually under your budget.
Yeah, and when you move in, Geico could help you save on renter's insurance.
Yep, Geico helped me with renter's insurance too.
The walls seem a bit thin.
It's a great building.
All right, I guess we're going with Skyrim. I'm gonna wait for my co-commentator to get in here with Wall of Spain, but I am Enfro, former runner, former router. Commentated this a few times before. And we've got Chronos going out the gate for the Helgen load warp. So this game has some weird wrong warping. If you quick save in a load zone, you can then do some very odd shenanigans to wrong warp out.
All right.
Welcome back.
We're in. Okay. Thank you very much. That was weird.
Yeah, you want to explain the Helgen load warp? Because Chronos already...
yes. Helgen load warp. Basically, the ways Skyrim transfers stuff through loads, basically, you can transfer mostly everything. We'll see Speedy in a bit, but and this time we're gonna transfer position through loads. So we're gonna save right where Chronos is saving right now, and with that, we're gonna be going to quick loading through some dialogue, which is gonna skip it, grabbing a bucket because we all know how important buckets are in Skyrim, and we're gonna load it again. It's a really tricky glitch, but if you press ESC right, and the menu right as you go in, you can exit out of the load as you're going into the end of the Helgen cave and load another load to basically transfer who is playing and where. So you're transferring basically position through a load.
And we do this to skip the entirety of the indoor section of Helgen. As soon as you get your wrist bindings cut, you can reload and just leave the area.
Yes, and this route has actually changed from the last time we did it at GDQ. So they actually have introduced new tilts and a lot of crazy stuff. So we're gonna be in for a treat.
The runners are gonna be forms of tilts too. You'll be in for a trip. You'll be in for a treat once we get to what we call ghost tilting.
The runners are gonna be for Greybeards. It's gonna be BubblesDelFuego, who will be there soon enough as basically NoobSalmon is finishing right now, and then it's gonna also be. Hold on, I need to change. It's gonna also be LasTYNS for Team Speedy Boys, who are not doing the best right now. So
Team not so Speedy Boys.
Yeah, not so Speedy Boys. Greybeards just finished. I'm gonna switch over to Bubbles, who will probably be ready.
So you might be wondering why Chronos is running away from Riverwood, where you would go casually playing this. He's going to get a horse. And as many of you know, horses are a little silly. Just like you can carry position through loads, you can carry your character's movement speed. And Skyrim, for some reason, launches you like mad when you get off a horse at a weird angle.
Yes, and not only, let's just say it, this really is used all over the run, but it's also very, very complicated.
Yes, we don't exactly walk most places. Instead, we run through the sky.
Okay, flying. Run through the sky, what the...
We fly. We fly, but you're still in a run cycle.
Yeah, and now we're going to do the meme of punching a guard, take your whatever they want you to take, and then if you just go and sleep in the bed, you can just be totally fine. Let's just get out of there. It's not gonna have any repercussions or anything. It's not like real world. Other than that, we also have now we have BubblesDelFuego running, so he's actually not that far behind.
No. He's also second place on leaderboard, so
Yes, but think that Chronos is also 3 seconds later.
Yeah. These guys are fast, is what we're getting. So there's another horse tilt from Chronos, and if you look at Bubble's screen, you will see the getting out. You'll see how we get out of Helgen to get to that load zone. Or did we already pass that?
You're getting some eco, so
not much I can do about it. I'm sorry.
Okay, sure. That's all right. So yeah, we'll see. This is actually phantom tilting. You see how he's actually going through the mountain, and then he's gonna do a quick step, quick load. Oh, he actually crashed. Okay, never mind. That's a crash count. Crash plus one.
Counter ticks up.
Hell yeah. Alrighty.
We need a.
But this is ghost tilting. So he's actually going through the mountain. He doesn't have any more collisions anymore. And actually, I don't know if this is ghost tilting or he's just going too fast. I'm pretty sure this is ghost tilting.
I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah,
the way you start ghost tilting is you trigger a horse tilt, but the load you're going to is loading into the middle of a forge, correct?
Yeah, the middle of a forge, the middle of like leather stand, like anything that will make you lose your lose just any collisions that you have.
Yes, because in Skyrim, when you are interacting with a crafting station, people can just walk right through you.
Exactly. So you don't have any collisions; they take it out. So then that means that if you do that plus tilt, you can just go through. This was really discovered recently. I think it was by Chronos and also Bubbles. They both worked on it a lot. So is Sandy done?
Looks like it.
Okay.
Oh, Bubbles died
Sandy,
on High Hrothgar.
Looks like Sandy's done. Sorry about that.
Bubbles just died on High Hrothgar.
Yeah, this is honestly this is a really hard game. Some people don't.
It is actually ridiculous.
And let me change the next streamer.
Especially because when your frame rate changes, the game's physics calculation.
Exactly. So you actually have to be really reactive when you play this game. And there's an ad. That's all right. But yeah, you have to be really calculative of what you're doing. You have to be really reactive. It's gonna be really hard because you have so many things you have to take care of. Plus, just performing a really hard tilt at really high speeds. So the game doesn't really help you in that sense. But as you can see, Chronos is having a really hard time trying to get to the top of High Hrothgar, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think he's got to reload the tilt.
Yeah.
He upwarped. He got the upwarp.
Yeah, he had the upwarp. The way you get the upwarp is by quick save, quick loading while you're doing that tilt. For some reason, it acts the same way as interacting with water when you're tilting. It will push you upwards as the game doesn't know where you are or the speed that you have, so just put you upwards. So you can be right on the bottom of High Hrothgar, and then still be able to make it.
I love how much we break everything Bethesda makes.
Oh, that's another crash for BubblesDelFuego.
Oh.
Crash count 4. Okay. Yeah, this game will crash a lot.
Yeah.
Skyrim cannot handle the amount of speed that we're getting. It's ridiculous.
Turns out you're not supposed to break the sound barrier in your fantasy RPG.
Not only that, if you think about it, there's a certain amount of numbers that the game can hold. And when you're tilting, you're getting numbers sequentially, which means they change really fast. And that means that with that change, you can easily overflow it, and the game doesn't know how to treat it with an overflow. So it's basically an overflow problem most of the time, and some other times it just breaks. But yeah, Bubbles right now doing the shadow tilting, the ghost tilting, and to be honest, I do not know where Chronos is going.
I'm not sure. I'm focusing more on Bubbles to see the other upwarp, which he got.
Yeah, he got a first stripe. Chronos
Yeah, that was
too.
quick.
This might be a really good race. LasTYNS did a really good first tilt.
Yeah, that was solid.
He even got the Wall of Spain in the very first tilt, which is really hard. Chronos is tilting through.
He's
through the parkour.
Okay.
For sure.
He said he was going to try to put on a show.
Yeah, so he's putting on a show. Yeah, we talked about it. He's like, "Oh, I have too much time. I'll put on a show." That was a crash. Oh, game crashed.
Yep. Everyone has crashed once.
The expectancy is 3 each. So
yeah. Also, that Todd Howard crash screen is brilliant.
All right. So as you can see, Bubbles is not trying to tilt through the parkour. He's actually just doing it. That's the ease of doing it. Usually.
Yeah, it's usually just done as normal parkour.
Yep. So he's doing normal parkour.
That was
makes it a lot simpler, a lot faster. But now they're both actually.
Sorry, that was a very strange looking tilt from Chronos. They basically used his character's belly button and he just spun around that fixed point for a half a second and then.
Honestly, the Chronos has actually, I think watching Chronos is very interesting. He does some really interesting kinds of tilts that will they will work out well, but he has it so interestingly and so differently. He kind of figured out his own way of doing it.
Yeah.
So watching him doing it is very interesting. And he's right now. Let's talk a little about the story, not only about tilting. Chronos has discovered Katla's farm. Tilting is cool.
But yes, Katla's farm. It's a hub for a couple of story quests, and it's a useful fast travel point to have in the north.
Yes, it's actually really useful for then council later on, which is also new strats. You'll see him later.
Yeah, Council Skip used to be the holy grail of Skyrim. Well, we found the holy. Do we want to explain vendor glitch that Bubbles was just?
Yeah, I can do that. Vendor glitch. It's really interesting how Skyrim handles that. Basically, when you're selling something, if you sell something at the same time, you change tabs. You just sell it and change tabs. It won't actually there's no break during that time. There's no animation that makes you not be able to go through it. So when you sell that and go to the buyer's tab, you can actually sell himself his own stuff, aka scamming. To do it at home.
Oh, also, Dawnstar is part of the route now.
Interestingly enough, Dawnstar is part. We never thought it'll get to here.
No. The Pale is the most useless hold in the game, casually. And until recently, speedrunning too.
Yeah.
Now I think Falkreath is the only one we just don't use.
So we can see Bubbles right now doing another iteration of ghost tilting. He goes from Dawnstar to get Kala's farm, to get Septimus, and he's now gonna get also Embassy.
And we upwarp into the Embassy, right?
Wow, that was impressive.
Yeah,
and he also still doesn't have collisions.
That was incredible. And now we have one of the oldest things. For some reason, the trigger for one of the biggest story quests in the game is looting this chest, independent of the quest that normally puts you in here. So if you skip into the Embassy early, you can just skip the first half of the story.
Exactly. And yeah, we're just going through story now. Chronos is gonna attempt another. Oh, Chronos is quick to desktop. That's enough. I don't know if it's a crash, but I'm counting it. That's just Chronos. Chronos, you have to quit to main title when you're tilting, when you're doing horse tilt. And sometimes, as a runner, like this happened to me a lot of times, you press S one more time, which is the button for down, and you press the desktop, and you have to do a lot of stuff again. So I think Chronos has to go through a lot already. He has to go some things again. And now
he's just on the Dawnstar Ghost tilt.
He's doing the Ghost tilt for Dawnstar. So Bubbles is actually ahead
Bubbles
now.
took the lead because Chronos is putting on a show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And wow, everyone, this has actually gotten much closer.
Yeah, it is really close. LasTYNS is doing way better than expected.
And Bubbles died. So yeah, this is this might just come down to.
It's great. That's what we're here for. It's
Yeah.
a race.
I mean, going into this, everyone thought Skooma would just take it, but going into this run, not the entire relay.
Yeah.
Oh, another.
Yeah. No crash. I mean, yeah,
If
it's
your
this
Fury
game.
Shot crashes, just watch for Todd Howard's face.
All right, so we'll crash count 7. Our hope is to get to 12. So
Bubbles has entered the Tower of Mizark.
yeah, he's a little bit ahead of Chronos. Tower of Mizark, that's where you get the Elder Scroll, which, that's what the whole
Roll
franchise is
credits.
named of. And
So until Ghost Tilting was found, Tower of Mizark was annoying as all hell.
yeah,
You had to basically ram your face into the base of the elevator over and over again until you clipped in enough to hit the button. Or the lever. But now
basically, yeah. Tilting, well, not only tilting, it's clipping, tilting, all these different things that we've done through this route has made this game so short. The only reason it seems like it's so long is because it's so complicated. There's a lot of run.
There are so many things to learn, and it is so fast-paced and execution-heavy that what you're seeing right now from the runners is unreasonably
Yeah, it's incredible. And as you can see, like last the world record holder, he's not here today, but he's still using one of the past strats. I believe he's using the strats that I used at GDQ, and he still holds world record. So even though we've probably shipped around a minute, he was so optimized that he was able to do it, because this game is all about strats don't matter that much. What matters is speed.
Yeah. Oh Jesus! Last is having some of the worst Septimus luck I've ever seen.
Yeah. Let me explain this real quick. So the way Septimus locks work, you sneak on top of. So the very first thing that I don't agree with, you have to sneak on the top so he doesn't see you at the beginning, but he did his quick save, quick load on the bottom.
Yeah.
And as we know, if you do a wrong quick save, quick load, it could mess you up a little.
Yeah, I mean, it was reading 29% chance to steal. It took him 9 tries.
It usually is 50%. If
Yeah,
you're
he was
correct.
he was being slowly detected. He was partially detected.
That's exactly why. So yeah, you got to be careful with that. But that's the only stealing thing.
Bad RNG to take 9 tries on the 30%.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I've seen worse. And now BubblesDelFuego is going through S-Burn. This is probably the most boring part of the run, in my opinion. He's just talking.
Yeah, now it is. Before Council Skip, though.
Council Skip isn't too bad now.
Yeah, there's also Skyhaven Temple a long time ago used to be the worst. You just had to bump Esbern along the wall until he got to the bit of dialogue.
I remember that. I used to run back then. But yeah, they're all going through. Basically, the way this run is divided by getting the stuff and then using the stuff. So right now they're getting everything. They're in whatever order. It doesn't matter. They're getting Esbern. They all got the Elder Scroll, or at least they're getting it, like LasTYNS. They all got the Septimus lexicon. So they're getting stuff to then apply it later and be able to go to Alduin 1.
LasTYNS is not actually doing the ghost clip for the tower.
No?
No, he's just ramming his face into the corner.
I mean, that's game crashed.
He just quit the desktop. He clicked the button.
I'm not gonna. That doesn't count. Yeah, basically, sometimes after you tilt, you will have to save and then reload the game itself, as it did, because it gets really hard to do it, and I do it all the time, so it's fine.
Yeah, but
he'll get it soon enough.
What you're seeing from him is what we used to have to do every time. Just jam your face in the corner and hope.
And honestly, it's pretty consistent.
Yeah. It's one of those things, though, that sometimes just says no.
Yeah, it really is just luck. It's luck of how your game loves you and how much you've done it.
Over the years, Skyrim has had a lot of strats that can just sometimes say no. We've routed most of them out.
Yeah, thanks to tilting too. And also our lead runner, Bubbles, is soon like getting to Skyhaven Temple. Not Skyhaven Temple, but the entrance Skyhaven Temple. And I actually think this is pretty funny. The way we skip this this cutscene that we have to go through, we can just fast travel somewhere else, and then we'll still be doing the animation. We can just jump out of it.
Basically,
So-
Bethesda's really bad at floating points. And we get marriage glitch set up.
Oh, marriage glitch setup. Yes, my favorite guy. This is my guy, Nakutu. He has my heart.
You want to take the explanation here?
Oh yeah, of course. Okay, so Morkutu. Let's talk about him. He's a young man, really sweet. Yeah, he's honestly best husband you'll ever have. Also, the fastest guy you can marry in this run. So we're gonna talk to him because we need to get married. Why? We need to get married because any thing that you're doing, any cutscene that you're going through, any dialogue that you're doing, can be stopped by missing a marriage. The reason why you miss a marriage is because when you're going through marriage, you're supposed to be there. And when you're going through it, you go into an animation of just walking through the church. But when you miss it, the game thinks that you're there, or they just didn't program it well. So you miss it, and then you get control of your character again. So you can be in a completely different cutscene and then miss your marriage. And then you'll be able to get control.
As a break in the marriage explanation, Bubbles just pick up duped Dragon's Bane so he can dual wield it in the fights. So I believe it's what, if you quick save quick load while picking up an item, you can pick it up again.
Yeah, you have to do. It's just smashing it. So what is Chronos doing?
He had thugs show up.
Yeah, thugs. Oh no, thugs. That's the thing you don't want to see in a run. It's thugs. Yeah.
What, does Septimus send them after you?
Yeah, Septimus. If it's just luck and amount of time. So if you go slow, and Chronos did go pretty slow, depending on the time of the day that you enter that tavern, there will be thugs that go after you because of Septimus, who we stole the lexicon, but I don't know why he sends out thugs when he...
I mean, yeah, he is a recluse. He has literally left all of Skyrim behind to go live inside of a glacier while studying Hermaeus Mora, effectively.
So Chronos is going to be having some fun dealing with those. I'll say his bias forward and kill him, but whatever. Now BubblesDelFuego is getting up to High Hrothgar. He's talking to the Greybeards, and he's gonna get close to the cutscene and do the cutscene skip. On the other hand, LasTYNS is getting to the part where thugs could happen. And I think what Chronos
He's been going faster than Chronos.
Yeah, he's been going a lot faster. Let's keep in mind that LasTYNS started with a really big deficit. Now he's going really fast.
I believe those thugs are now somewhere south of Helgen because they're running towards wherever you're fast traveling.
Yeah, so
and they just run across the world after they're spawned the first time. They will just chase you forever.
And it seems like Bubbles is not getting Clear Sky's bug, which is great. That's also something that will happen.
Does anyone know?
I don't know. I just get it all the time.
Basically, sometimes you just won't learn the words to that shout while it's happening.
Yeah, it's pretty not cool that it happens. Yeah, Chronos now, I think he just opted to wait a lot and then go talk to Delphin.
Yes. All right, we're going to be getting towards the first marriage glitch use for Bubbles. And we use it to be able... Do we still use it to be able to move in the tongues cut?
In the... What? Sorry?
The flashback cutscene.
Yeah, we're going to be... That's exactly the main purpose of it.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was still used. It's been a while.
No, yeah, it's still used. It's still too fast to do it. And also you get some extra experience in your sword, so it's, I guess, pretty good. It's pretty nice, honestly. Other than that, it seems like everybody's just catching up. It's actually becoming a way closer race. But Bubbles is getting to the part where it gets more consistent. So if Bubbles doesn't mess up one of the later parts where there's more horse tilting, or the new console skip, then he should be set. But for now, let's just hope he's not, because I want to see a race. And also, he's talking to Partner X to be able to get to the cutscene. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, it seems like everyone's caught up a lot.
Yeah, this is much closer than I expected. How many Dragon's Banes does LasTYNS get? 2.
2, that's pretty nice. You can get up to 4. Actually, you can get up to
Chronos-
infinity. It depends on how fast you mash. Yeah, 4?
Yeah.
Damn, Chronos. Yeah, Chronos just mashes that
It
thing.
doesn't actually matter, but
I mean, well, I don't know if. Actually, yeah, it doesn't matter at all.
No.
So yeah, they're going now. Bubbles is going through the cutscene. They're skipping the cutscene. Let me explain
And
skipping the
you
cutscene.
can now run everywhere.
In the cutscene. So first thing we're gonna do is kill that dragon, because he's gonna end up dead anyways. So you're just gonna kill him, so you don't have to go through the animation of the adventurer killing him. And then we're gonna fast travel and try to do different things while we're in that cutscene, so we're able to use our time, manage our time well, and go through the cutscene exactly when we need to. Like when we need to be there, we'll be there. But also we're able to discover some other places on the way. So that's why this still actually saved a lot of time. In the past, we were too scared to even do that. It was really scary to move out, to be walking. So we just waited for the whole thing. But now we understand in which parts of the cutscene we need to be in, and which parts of the cutscene won't keep going unless we're there. So with knowing that, we can easily, as you can see, Bubbles is just anywhere else in the world. We can easily discover other places and keep going with the story while you're in the cutscene.
Yeah. I'd like to point out with this, you're supposed to be, what, like 1,000 years in the past?
Yeah.
Everything in Skyrim is just still there.
I mean, yeah, they're not going to change it.
It's just every single resident of Skyrim is immortal.
Like you, I
They
guess.
were there 1,000 years ago, and they're back.
Not only that, a big part about cutscene skip, it is. Oh, I think Dale got it. Dale got the Clear Skies side. Yeah. But another part of that's about cutscene skip that's really scary is that you can't quick save, but you can quick load. So if you try to sprint, like do infinite sprint glitch, you won't quick save. You will just quick load your last load, which will be before. So you have to do all of cutscene skip again. But yeah, as you can see, Bubbles is just going through the parts now that we needed to go to. As we said, like there are some certain parts that we need to go, and some certain parts that we can skip. For example, the death of Meredith. I don't know her name. And
I don't remember actually.
yeah, nobody cares about her.
Someone Golden Hilt?
I think it's pretty close. Yeah.
What the hell's her name?
Oh, very interestingly, now LasTYNS are really close.
It is neck and neck between those two.
And Bubbles is also not that far ahead. But
Bubbles is ahead by cutscene skip. That's a solid 2 minutes.
It's a solid 2 minutes, but it's still doable. Also, we talked to the Jarl of Whiterun because you need to talk to him at the very beginning.
That keep is called Dragon's Reach for a reason.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, he's going there while we have to talk to Alduin. Also, I hate this fight. This fight is literally why I'm never gonna go to GDQ ever again.
TGM.
TGM. I mean, you can split it a bit, but yeah, you have to talk to the Jarl of Whiterun to be able to keep going with the story.
Because you're supposed to talk to him very early on in the run and trigger a few of the earlier story beats. But we don't do that because that's slow. Meanwhile,
And now let's
a little
talk
story
about...
for those who missed AGDQ.
Alrighty. So let's talk about Alduin. I just posted in chat TGM. TGM is a console command, means toggle go mode. I've never used it. That's the first time I used it in GDQ. So this game actually is, let me talk about that fight. That fight is actually the hardest fight of the whole game. The second fight is easier because you have all the other adventurers or heroes helping you out. But Babos actually did really well. That fight is all about positioning. If you are in the exact spot where Alduin is going to land and he has his wing right in front of you, he's going to do the wing attack, which is the weakest. But if not, and then you can just attack him with the infinite stamina power attack, which actually deals a lot of damage. But if you're not, and Alduin starts moving around towards you, he'll actually start doing Ice Breath, which will make your stamina reduce, and you cannot do that attack anymore, and also you lose health a lot faster.
It does a ton of damage.
So throughout that fight, everyone does a lot of quick saves to be sure that we're not going to get to that point. But if you get to that point and then you quick save, you're in the soft lock.
Yeah.
So
guess what happened at AGDQ?
It's a good time. But hey, didn't happen to Bubbles. Probably not going to happen to any of those two, to the other two amazing runners. Unlikely to happen. So hopefully we'll all be safe after we're going through the fight real soon. And now Bubbles is entering the beginning for Council, which has some new strats for the skip. If you guys know about the marriage skip and how we broke Mercutius Heart, yeah, we need to do it again. We need to break Mercutius Heart. We have we don't care.
Yeah, and this next marriage-based skip is kind of interesting. Because next up is the council skip with marriage, right?
Yeah, next step is council skip with marriage.
Whew.
Can you explain that?
So
actually, explain it in a bit. He still has to go through a lot of talks. So before that, you have to talk to all the different important guys in Skyrim and just say, "Hey, come to the council." It's pretty far away, but it's so still to come.
Everyone wants peace. No one wants to be the first to ask. They get asked, they go, they talk about peace. So we're going to get into one of the weirder skips in the game, which I'm going to explain action by action.
Let me talk about this. Chronos just missed the first dragon run in the fight, so he's gonna have to wait for that. But it seems he might get glitched. Alduin will get glitched in this fight if you miss your dragon run, but I think he's fine.
Yeah,
he's fine. He's just gonna fly around a lot. That's what happens. He flies around a lot. Let's see if LasTYNS gets it. And he got it. Nope, he missed it too. Got it. Okay, this is what happened to Chronos. This is what happened to me. Basically,
you can wait mid Alduin fight?
Wait, you can? I didn't know that.
Lasty just waited after missing.
Actually, you cannot quick save quick load. It'll bug Alduin.
Yeah, no, but he actually just waited.
And nice.
Waited in that.
Nice save by Chronos. So he was getting the bad position. They're both getting the bad positioning of Alduin attacking you with the face. It's still winnable. It's very hard.
But you just have to get to the side and hope he doesn't turn with you.
Exactly. So he was able to save it, and it seems like LasTYNS is also able to save it. So yeah, they're all.
Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, it is so. Ooh, it's quick saving for it just in case he dies.
Yeah.
That's perfect. There is a strat that you can do is you can level up.
I feel like we should, for marathon safety, always carry a minor healing potion.
We do have backup states for a fight, but it's fast now. And let's talk about Bubbles, because he's getting close to talking to Mercutio again. And just listen to this. Just listen to the dialogue. It's the best dialogue in the world.
Oh yeah, straight.
I love it. Is it no game audio? There's game audio. Okay, yeah.
All right, just because it's you, we'll do it again.
You met this guy 2 seconds ago, but he's just such a sweetheart.
So, let's talk council skip.
Let's talk council skip. Okay, you can explain it. Yeah.
We set up marriage glitch again. It behaves in the same way. However, you have to set it up differently at the event because there's a setup involved in the cutscene. So you start the council. We wait 48 hours in game. And that's when the marriage fails. Talk to Ulfric, quit the conversation, and then we're exiting.
Exactly.
That is the first few steps.
Basically, it's just a lot of steps to make time. It's the same way of casting skip. You have to be there for some important dialogue notes. Actually, some of them are not even important.
Yeah.
But
it gets more interesting once we get to the jumping part of the glitch.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have to jump exactly 20 times.
Yeah, he will have to jump 20 times. It's all about the reason why we jump 20 times is not to do anything else other than wasting time. It doesn't do anything else other than just let people talk. And 20 times is the amount of time that we need. So when we're done with 20 jumps, you just go through and
the correct people are
dialogue is there.
So quick little bit on that. He was dragging the weight slider back and forth. If you drag the weight slider all the way to 24 hours, press enter to start the wait, and then immediately drag it all the way back down to 1 hour, it will wait 24 hours while taking the amount of time it usually takes to wait 1.
Wait, really?
Yeah, for RTA. It'll wait 24 hours immediately.
Well, wait, I didn't know that. Somebody should have told me that. Come on, couch.
It was put in Discord on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, so new strats. This is all top runners. This is all people who have been experiencing the game or either for a long time or they're just not that long, but they're really good, like Bubbles and Chronos, and then LasTYNS has been there for a while. Yeah, they're all setting up console skip. We are getting it really close everywhere. As you can see, both Chronos and LasTYNS are setting it up for console. They have to talk to the Jarl of Windhelm to be able to do it, and Bubbles already done with console skip. I don't think he did I think he did the old strat. I'm pretty sure he did the old strat.
I think so.
Yeah, he did the strat I did at GDQ. Chronos, we're gonna see something interesting. He's gonna do the new strat,
which is going to be the ridiculous thing we just walked you through.
Yes, for Bubbles strat, is easier. It's just more waiting and more talking rather than just trying to skip some important dialogues. It's very interesting. It's very interesting how it works. But yeah,
it's a net save of well over a minute RTA,
which it's a lot. And we're still trying to figure it out if it's shorter in in-game time, because this run is actually ran in in-game time, which means all the loading times that we see are not counted, but rather in RTA for marathon purpose, we're doing it with loads, which can be a little bit bad depending on what computer you have.
Yeah. However, all three of these guys have solid PCs.
Oh, solid enough. We saw a few crashes.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how good your computer is, Skyrim can just crash because the engine's not good.
Yeah, that's exactly true. And yeah, Bubbles is gonna call Oblivion inside Dragon's Reach, very thin walls.
Saves a second and a half.
He's just gonna capture a dragon. No big deal. It's not that hard.
Yeah. Welcome to why it's called Dragon's Reach.
Which is very unsafe. I don't know who thought about catching a dragon. That was bad. That was a stupid idea.
Olaf Numenex in the lore.
Okay, so we see both of them actually starting to go through cutscene skip, and I'm pretty sure LasTYNS is actually just quick loading through cutscene skip. Yeah, it's actually doing the in-game. So we have all three different strats for cutscene skip. We have basically the one I did at GDQ, the new one, and we have the past one for in-game time, which is just quick save, quick loading through the cutscene without a marriage. Which means LasTYNS is just not talking more to Mikuchu, which disappoints me. And you're gonna see the Chronos console is gonna end eventually like a lot faster than
it's actually getting close to being done already.
Yeah, it's insane. And also Bubbles is coming to the not last tilt, but pretty close to last tilt. He's really close to finishing the game. So he's gonna pick a quick save and load the tilt, This tilt is pretty finicky. If you go
Yeah,
over
these last
you go-
two tilts, these last two tilts are some of the ones that have the opportunity to just completely get you killed if you overshoot.
yeah, especially this one because it will, the amount of height that you have in this dungeon is like you need to go a little bit below that, and if you go over it, you
That
can easily
would-
overshoot it in that way. Oh, I thought Chronos. No, not Chronos. Bubbles is doing the other way of doing it. He is doing Waz's way of doing it, which is by floors. So the dungeon is separated by 3 floors. So he's going first floor, second floor, third floor. I think you can separate. You can skip second and third though.
Yeah, you can skip 2 of them. It's
Yeah,
a
there
little
you go.
safer.
Yeah, it's a little safe. Actually, it's different. It's pretty good.
It's slightly slower RTA, but it is safer.
And yeah, as Coach Phoenix mentioned, no courier for Bubs. Usually, courier is not that common of a thing anymore, just because we tilt so much and we go so fast.
Courier used to be a major problem.
Yeah, and it seems like
the number of
Greybeards are gonna take this.
number of world record runs I've seen that died to courier. It would make you cry.
Yeah, it seems like Bubbles and Greybeards are gonna take this home.
Yeah.
As I predicted at the very beginning. There, Bubbles is gonna walk his way through it, unless I don't see any other way this can go wrong. LasTYNS is taking a lot of time.
There's a glitch I've encountered with the bridge where you can just fall right through it.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
It only happened to me once ever, and it was on PlayStation.
Well, console is not real, okay?
No.
Oh, I don't think he ended the fight. No, he didn't end the fight.
No, he didn't.
Quick save.
There we go.
Okay. That guy can one-shot you easily.
Oh, yeah.
Almost GG, guys. Get ready for some GGs. After this, there will be an outro. I think we're getting Chronos, the organizer, here. We organized most of this. Bubbles, we're getting him here. And I think it's going to be me and Enfro. And then we're just going to...
Yeah. We'll talk him through, do kind of a outro, maybe a little winner's interview thing. We'll see.
Nah, the winners don't deserve anything. I'm just kidding. They did amazing, especially for Shizudo having such bad luck in Arena. Then later on, NoobSalmon didn't do that well. NoobSalmon was for Greybeards, so NoobSalmon didn't do that well.
NoobSalmon picked it back up a bit.
He picked it up a lot, and actually gave BubblesDelFuego such a good opportunity to take that lead from Chronos. And also, LasTYNS has a really good, also picked it up a lot too. But we also got to say that Chronos said he was going to meme, and he's definitely memed a bit.
Thank you for pointing that one out to me, chat. I did not realize PS3 only used 256 megs of RAM. That's so bad.
Yeah, and Bubbles is going to head back down and just kill the last dragon. And we also see Chronos finish the last tilt, while also LasTYNS is getting close to is doing auto-wing right now. So everybody's really about done. It was a really close race overall for 5 games.
Yeah, 5 games being put together. 5 games, and it's decided by like what, 3-4 minutes.
Yeah, that's insane.
Almost 3 hours. That is impressive.
And now, I don't know what Bubbles is doing. I'm interested.
He's just standing on the brazier because he can.
No, that's solid. But I don't know. Chronos Chronos did the tilt, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Chronos just used Dragon Rend, not Fire Breath.
Oh, Chronos. He quick saved though. Oh, he's fine. He's gonna switch right now. Oh, never mind. That's death. Yeah, that guy is strong. That guy has to be a hard situation to get out of, so he probably just needs to run. But
Okay, he got it.
There we go. It's fine.
Phew. Oh, but
All right.
last he got Courier, but it didn't matter.
I mean, yeah, last year I got Courier because he didn't do fast.
That was the jankiest animation.
And Bubbles got fast Dragon Rant on last Alduin, so he's got it on the back. It's gonna be time for Bubbles soon. Count it. And Time. Yeah, Greybeards with the time of. Oh fuck! I
240,
oh my God.
37.3.
Yep, and I also messed up. That's my bad. The timer should have kept going, but I can't press it again. Oh well. That's the final timer. I'm sorry, Sandy. I'm sorry, Mystical Dark Devil. You're gonna kill me. But yeah, that's final time. 240, 30, 37. But we still gotta keep going with the other runners. We gotta finish the game.
Yeah, only a couple more minutes.
Yeah, so they're actually all really close. They're all in Southern Guard. Bubbles, as you can see, he's probably having a lot of fun. He probably was looking with his right eye.
Oh, looks like we're getting the Sovereign Guard tilt from last.
Oh, he's doing Southern Guard tilt? Hell, yeah, that's actually a pretty complicated one.
Whee! Yeah, that is a dangerous tilt to go for. That. Oh, and he missed soon.
He missed. Oh my god. This game is honestly very. I don't understand how much of this. Let's just shout outs to the runners. If you could shout outs to the runners in the chat, they are actually. They're actually like really. This is a really hard and really skilled game, and they've done really well for this game. You have to put a lot of practice and just go through the emotions with this game, as there is so much. This is so many things to do and so many things to control that are completely different in technicality. But yeah, they will both be able to finish soon. Chronos is about to finish, and LasTYNS is about to finish. Do we want half a time for all of them, even though there was a finish timer?
We can time the difference. We can time the difference out for the teams if people care.
Yeah, we'll time it later. GG Bubbles. We'll get you in the outro in a bit. I think we'll probably get Greybeards back. We'll try to get all the Greybeards in the outro. That's a really well done race. We'll get you in the outro in a bit. And yeah, that's gonna be it for Chronos. And LasTYNS is getting through it. In the outro.
That was a very solid relay.
Yeah, very fast. I think that even though some people messed up in some places, they were all able to pick it up really well. Shizudo is a good example of that. He was the last one to finish arena because of horrible RNG and dying, but then he finished first in Daggerfall because he was playing both games and completely ran through Daggerfall. That was insane. The Morrowind was really fast, and it wasn't very fast for yellow, but it was very fast for. Pretty sure it was very fast for.
So, changing tack a little bit, I believe Chronos is doing some of the random glitch showing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he probably thinks that he finished first.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he will do some random glitch showing. He'll show us some glitches while he's at it. While LasTYNS is finishing. Also tell him to get here. To get to the outro.
So what is he showing right now?
I'm not sure. Oh, I think he might be showing.
What?
Yep. He's showing that one. Okay. So what's happening there?
I've never seen this.
So he went to Helgen safe, and he still has his hands unbound. So when you run far enough, when your hands are unbound, or they're bounded, you basically don't. The game doesn't know what to do with you because you can't do anything. So we'll just do that. I don't know what that is yet, but it makes me have some fears at night. But yeah, LasTYNS is finished too.
All right. Well, that's it for the runs. And that was a great marathon.
So we have first, that was an incredible marathon. First place, Greybeards. Second place, Skooma. Third place, Speedy Boys. Really well done. And we'll get I'm talking to everyone to get the outro started.
So, yep, we've got the host and the anchor leg of the winning team.
All right.
So, Chronos, inside tilting through Skyhaven?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I do that in my PB anyways.
Oh, okay.
I kind of messed that up slightly.
It was
Also,
entertaining.
getting thugs is not a fun thing.
Hi.
No, that was awful.
Yeah.
Hey, Bubbles.
Hey, Bubbles.
Congrats.
Yeah, Bubbles did an amazing job.
Hey,
There was
Bubbles.
some really solid tilts there, like Phantom tilting, Shadow tilt, the first Shadow tilt in Hierarchical, that was very solid. Also, the Shadow tilt, that was to get to Embassy was really solid. So
Yeah,
definitely,
I was about to get it first try, but my game crashed.
Embassy was
Yeah, I
really
saw
solid.
that.
So
Yeah, I
Typical
was
thing.
about to get it.
Oh, I
first
can.
try,
After
but my
looking at the
game
stream now, I
crashed.
can see what
Yeah,
happened
I
to
saw
Speedy
that.
Boys.
Typical thing.
No,
Yeah,
Speedy
no.
was finished. They finished third.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Greybeards first, Skooma second, and Speedy Boys third.
I saw people think
Yeah,
that I
it was
crashed earlier,
Greybeards
but I
first,
didn't.
Skooma second,
Yeah.
Speedy Boys third.
I didn't crash earlier as well. One of them. It was save bug on one of the like crafting table, like the
Yeah.
tank bugs on one of the. It's like crafting. It's a save that you have to make, which is close to frame perfect. It's like, and the thing is, sometimes the game just doesn't let you save there, and it's really dumb. And you, the only way
Yeah.
to like fix it is to quit to mate or quit to desktop. And you,
Oh, so that's why you did that.
like fix it.
Okay.
is
Yeah, I
to
had to restart to desktop
or quit to
because I
desktop.
had a similar bug.
Oh, so that's
Well,
why you
because
did
of
that.
the desktop
Yeah.
restart. But I had the quest notification thing not working. So
Oh, yeah, that's the worst.
There's a bug where you can't see any quest notifications, and you
Oh,
can't.
yeah, that's the worst.
That's one other thing. You can't. It's like just pop-ups don't come up, so you can't really tell when like a quest gets updated.
No location discovery tags, no entering location
That's the other thing,
tags,
yeah.
no
Yeah.
quest pop-ups.
Yeah, it doesn't let you know, like, because when I went across Battleborn Farm to punch the guard to go into Whiterun to warp into there, I noticed that it didn't pop up on my screen saying that, hey, you discovered Battleborn Farm. So I was like, okay, I'll just restart the game after I go to prison. And then I look
That's
at
a
the chat and people are like, game crash, lol. And I'm like, all right. So,
Yeah.
We're still putting it on the crash counter because your desktop showed. But
yeah, sub 10 crash counter, though. That's impressive.
Hey, it's actually amazing.
Very
That's more
impressive.
than
for,
that's better than the average Skyrim run.
yeah,
exactly.
And no one had
so
to
what-
TGM.
Yeah, that was what we were talking about. It we're like, oh, there's 3 Alduin 1 fights. Might happen, but now you guys all have to test it out.
I got
So
pretty
let's talk
bad
about
RNG that run.
Oh, you gotta mute me on stream because there's double audio, I think.
Yeah, I muted it already.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So let's talk about the event as a whole. What do you guys think about the whole relay? How did it like go through? What do you guys think about it?
It
I
happened.
think it went way better than I expected.
Yeah, I mean, I was
Honest.
watching. I was watching on the ride home. I think I was still watching Daggerfall, and everything from Daggerfall through to the end felt really smooth.
Yeah.
Chat,
I
what do
mean,
you guys think?
Chat.
What's chat think? Show us your appreciation via emote.
Yeah.
Also, I haven't seen enough. I said at the beginning of the marathon, the best meme gets a free sub to RPG Limit Break, but I haven't seen any good memes yet. So, last chance, except Bubbles, but I'm not giving it to Bubbles. You're a runner.
Oh, yeah.
Bubbles also already subs.
Did I already? Am I sub to RPG Lone Break? Let's check by posting an emote. Nope.
All right.
Um,
Neither one of you. Okay.
All right, so yeah, as an outro, yeah, this was our community relay. It was all put up by Chronos since probably 3 months ago. So
Yeah.
everybody, thank you to Chronos. He put up a lot of work. Thank you to Musical Daredevil for doing the layout.
Yeah.
Thank you to Wall of Spain for
Wallace Spain.
coming in clutch.
Yeah, like it was last day, last minute kind of prep, and Wallace Spain did it. Best,
Yeah, he nailed
best
it.
guy ever.
Oh, process mailing. I had a lot of ads in there, but yeah.
Yes. I'm also a tech guy. You nailed it. Glitches happen.
He's made of technology.
Yep. And also, shout outs to all the runners, all the commentators. You guys really made this event possible. Really happy about it.
Yeah, this is the one time our community comes in together and we all do something together. And I think it's an incredible community. If any of you is thinking about running a Elder Scrolls game, don't be afraid to go to speedrun.com and go to the Discord server and start talking and trying to figure out how to speedrun these games. They're fun and glitchy. That's all I can say about it.
And they're no longer intimidating. Somebody did beat Garish Goblin. It can happen.
Yeah, it can happen, guys.
You can beat the record in these games. It's with a little hard work and determination and an SSD.
The thing about these games is that the way they're made and the way they're ran, there's no impossible, like, there's no perfect time. There's never gonna be an exactly perfect time that's unbeatable. It's gonna be really hard to beat. But we all know that every single run here is gonna be beaten.
So when can I expect one of you guys to beat Waz?
Oh my
Soon.
god.
Oh boy.
Waz deserves to stay there.
Yeah.
He's a god.
Yeah, it's insane.
He worked hard for that spot. Just for us to come back with like, I don't know, with like
New
one more
strat.
strat.
Can't beat his time.
You beat
He
him.
got, like,
he comes
like
back,
two
beats you guys
splits
again.
He's like 30 seconds off his own best. That run was like perfect. Yeah, if anyone wants to watch any of the runners, give them a follow, or any of the records of the individual runs themselves to see what like a solid run all the way through looks like. Go to speedrun.com and check out the links for the appropriate games of Arena, Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim. And make sure to follow RPG Limit Break for its future events.
Seriously,
Yeah.
give RPG Limit Break a follow. These guys deserve it.
They're great. They're just a great help for any community, and also they do some really good marathons coming up this year. RPG Limit Break, the either actual marathon every year, so that's gonna be really fun. You guys should all watch. Maybe we'll get some Elder Scrolls games in there. I don't know if the schedule is already out.
Maybe one of us will submit.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, thank you very much, all of you.